Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to everyone who's watching this when we are streaming this live. I just want to give a quick little disclaimer that I just got back from Beyonce, which was so much fun. I posted about it on my Instagram, which will be linked down below. But please excuse, just it's been a long day. And it's 4 a.m. But I promised I was gonna watch this before I went to bed. So I love everyone being like, "Hi, future me." So I keep my promises, and it's 4 a.m. But I'm excited to jump into this. So the oversharing. Should I just subscribe? Let's just subscribe. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's due. You know what I mean? So they've posted episode 2. Now, yesterday or the day before, we reacted to the teaser for this episode. Now we have the full-fledged episode, and it's called "Colleen is Mad at Trisha." Ooh. So we're gonna get into this, but before that, I see this, which posted 12 hours ago and has 7,000 views. Keep in mind, both these people have millions upon millions of subscribers between them. And it is a music video, and I just want to direct your attention to something. Corey is in this. Corey is Colleen's little lapdog, you know. Corey is what Colleen wants her husband to be, basically. And I think it's so funny because I've already spoken about this. Colleen and Corey are the ones that talked, I don't know if they do it now, talked shit about Trisha, you know, made fun of her, all these different things, right? And they always made fun of her because they had, like, inside jokes about her, and, you know, they would say them on, like, Snapchat, whatever, right? We talked about this. However, it makes me feel so uncomfortable for Trisha watching this, knowing their opinion or opinion in the past of Trisha, knowing that she's just there. Like, Colleen and Corey are doing a music video, and Trisha's just there. Like, she's just there. Look at this. Colleen and Corey are putting on a performance in the back, and Trisha's just there. I think at this stage, Trisha knows that Colleen or Corey doesn't like her, but I think she's just so desperate for friends. And that sounds really mean to say, because it is. Sorry. But I mean, this just goes to, look, like, so anyway, I just want to play this first because I think it really goes to show the dynamic going on here. You know what I mean? It's Colleen and Corey and then Trish. And I just find it really funny. But anyway, we're going to get into the episode. And the first thing I see whenever I load up the episode is trigger warning. This episode discusses body image, weight, and weight loss. I wonder who brings up that conversation. And also, I'm wondering why there's not a trigger warning for what we saw in the teaser where Colleen goes, when you look back on your relationships, what wasn't consensual or something like that. If you're going to do a trigger warning, you may as well hit everything out in one, right? So, trigger warning, guys. This episode discusses body image, weight, and weight loss. Trigger warning, the next hour and 30 minutes of your life is going to be boring. All right, let's get into it.
Trigger warning, this episode does contain talk about body image, weight, and weight loss.
Sorry. That was I wasn't expecting her to read it out. It was like an audiobook. Is this audio level okay, everyone?
I love that that's the beginning of the episode. You're just going,
well, we didn't know. We didn't know if we'd be here.
I know, I'm so excited.
There was so much controversy. It's one episode. Colleen thinks it's one. Trisha thinks it's 20.
I know, everyone was like,
Sorry, I'm not wearing trousers right now. Otherwise, I just imagine my legs are doing this. Dun, 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 dun. I love it whenever it comes to that music. Girl, Colleen has got to let these blonde wigs go. I love, again, I already said this in the teaser, they're opening up talking about, oh my god, the controversy of the last episode. I'm taking full credit for that. I'm the one who started that. I'm the one who started it because I covered it within an hour of it dropping. And then, you know, all the T pages, you know, covered it as well, which, you know, I was, you know, fine, great, whatever, like that. However, say my name. Say my name. Come on, ladies. Let's play fair. I come for you, you come for me. Come on. But you're scared because you know what I have. All right. But I love that's how they're starting it. A little Adam McIntyre cameo at the start. I love it.
Colleen, you only think it's one. Trish put so much work into this. And I was like, no, this is how I prepare myself
Go on,
for the
Colleen,
worst case
say my
scenario.
name.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I just
Say my name.
assume the worst case scenario. That way when it happens, if it happens, I'm like, well, I knew it was going to never happen again, so it's fine.
I'm obsessed with Colleen opening up and being like, oh, the only reason I said that was because whenever this inevitably goes to shit, then I said it. She just said to Trisha's face that she knows that Trisha's gonna blow up on her. I love this friendship.
Whereas,
Assume
like,
best case. I think we're having a show on like Hulu. I'm like, this is gonna be big. We're gonna have a Broadway show where it's just gonna be us on. Like, in my head, I think the biggest.
Right, I know, which I love about you, and I think we balance each other out. But we were just
Yeah.
filming like a little video, which we'll show you in a second. We were just filming a little video, like to a song, like a little dance, and Trish was like, "It feels like I'm shooting a big music video." I was like, "We're filming it on a phone." Like,
Oh, it's so fun. No, but it feels like cheerleading practice, and you're like the lead cheerleader, you're the head cheerleader. Like, we got to get it one more time. You guys do it, but in a good way. Like, we should have been bringing it
not
on.
in a good way. First of all, I've never been a cheerleader. I'm just like obnoxious.
Oh, she was saying Colleen's the head cheerleader? Yeah, girl, that's because she's bossing you around.
So I was like,
You're
no, we
so
gotta
good.
get.
But yeah,
no,
cheerleader.
I'm obnoxious. But hi, everyone. We're
Hi,
excited to be
welcome
here.
back to Oversharing with
Colleen.
and Trish.
And we're so excited to be here. And today we are dressed like the iconic Romeo
Yeah, what are you dressed as?
and Michelle.
So good. I was so excited for this.
Wait, everyone commented saying about Mary-Kate and Ashley. This is not Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Me
love her. It's
too.
probably my favorite duo. I think it is.
It's like the most iconic girl duo.
Yeah,
I think.
which is crazy because it's a movie even above our generation because it came out like '97 or something. It came out like
Did it?
even when I was like too young to watch it. I was like maybe 10 when it came out or
Oh
something.
man,
wanna say
I
97.
love this movie so much.
I love it too. I love Alan Cumming. I just want to put it out there. Like
I
Alan Cumming
know.
is my favorite actor in the whole world. I love him in literally everything. Schmigadoon. I love him in Romeo and Michelle. Like he's so good.
He's so good. Oh my gosh, in Cabaret, he does a revival of Cabaret on Broadway.
so hot. I fell in love with
so
him.
good.
Oh my, I fell so in love. Anyways, that's the whole thing.
He
I
was like
think
the loser in that movie though.
Do you think they're playing a bit with the mean girl thing? Trisha's not being a mean girl. I'm gonna give tens where tens are due. Trisha has not been mean this entire thing.
He gets
no,
cool.
he gets hot for sure.
Would you be like super starstruck if you met him in
I
person?
think he's the only person I don't think I could meet. There's like a few people, Gerard Way, Britney Spears. I think Alan Cumming might be up there, and Kristen Chenoweth. I just feel like
You want to meet Britney Spears, Trish? You said that you loved what her dad was doing with the conservatorship, or that you just wanted, like, what did she say on Frenemies? Does anyone remember that? Where she was like, I'm willing to like be a part of it just so I could be her friend or something like that. Who remembers? What did she say? Has Colleen started talking about being a mommy yet? No, we're 2 minutes in. Give it to 4 minutes.
inferior to them. I think they're just like, especially talented people, especially singers, especially Broadway. I feel so inferior.
This is so funny because, wait.
Listening
know?
to everyone, especially Broadway, especially actors, especially everyone.
The
This is funny because Trisha's literally going, I feel inferior to anyone who's a singer, which Colleen tells us she is, and anyone who's been on Broadway, which Colleen has been on Broadway for stunt casting. So Trisha's just automatically opening up with, I feel so inferior to you. We could read it, but whenever you tell us, it just comes across as very embarrassing.
Broadway actors who go mainstream too, you know what I mean? Because they're pretty they are very mainstream. They were in
Yeah.
Annie, they were in everything. So I'm like, but they're also on Broadway. So
I
it's
love
like, for me,
Trisha's
those are like,
earrings, a
to me,
necklace.
Broadway actors, but not to be all Broadway again, they're like the most talented, I'll say, because they do everything. They act, they sing, they dance.
Yeah.
So they have to be phenomenal at everything.
Yes,
so
I
that's what I
agree.
think.
Well, not
Anyways.
what do you mean not to be
Oh
Broadway?
my god, Colleen, who again tells us she's a singer and has been on Broadway, goes, I agree whenever Trisha says that anyone who's been on Broadway and a singer is like superior to people. Colleen goes, I agree. Keep in mind this woman fits both of those molds. Colleen didn't take the compliment. She just said, you're right. I am better than you.
Like, hello, we're literally a Broadway set. Even though we're Romeo and Michelle now, it's just going to be like the Chicago theme forever, and I
Well, we're
love
gonna
it.
do a Romeo and Michelle musical. You came up with
I know. It's like we
What
could
was
sing
your
a song about
song?
Post-its.
Yeah, go.
We
You did it. You did
created
it.
Post-its.
Colleen's definitely taken my advice on board. Look at this. Yes, improving the body language. She listened. Colleen and Corey are screening these streams every single night, picking up my criticisms and applying it. And you know what? I appreciate that. Automatically, she's brought up the controversy thing that I started. I'm always the messy one. And number two, Look at her amazing body language. Look at this. She's not only open, she's grabbing for Trisha. She's so open. Good job, Colleen. You're listening. Colleen, we'll continue to give little tips and tricks.
The glue on the back was us.
That's it. That's the whole
Look
song.
at this. Good body language,
good.
Colleen.
Okay, first of
We're
all,
making
you always
progress.
say, everyone says you're not on key. That was on
Good
key.
heaven,
That was
thank
in
you.
the same key as me.
I get lucky.
Good pitch. That was good.
Okay, we are going to do a singing lesson one day, but I feel like when I sing with someone,
But who will be teaching who to sing? Because
I do feel like I'm a little better because I can kind of
You're
hear
great.
them. You
You're
know what I mean?
perfect.
By myself now.
Danny, thank
Ariel
you for
rip challenge we gotta do.
subscribing.
I thought it's Ariel.
Yes.
Anyways, so
Okay,
fun.
that's another thing we have to do. Okay, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched and left so many sweet comments on the last episode. On the
Wasn't that many, considering Trisha said that her mum believed that they were going to have a 3 million view debut. Well,
only episode, on the last episode, we've had 78. We've done one. It was so sweet. I wanted to read some. Is that okay? Is that a thing?
sorry. Everyone was so sweet. I want to read some. Girl, that comment section we have proved is so filtered. The amount of people that were commenting on my video saying that they commented not even negative things, but critiques, and they got their comments deleted. Don't hit us with the overwhelming love. Let's read out the comments. Let's read out the comments. I can supply them.
I was shocked to how nice.
I know, people were so
Yeah, they're gonna be nice whenever you have Moses, work. I'm kidding. Allegedly.
sweet.
I was
So,
shocked.
Hey, it's me, Tahana, said there are costumes that she wanted to see us wear.
Oh, I love it. I love
So,
suggestions.
there's a million. She said Sharpay and Gabriella, which I love.
I want to be Troy.
Oh, yes, of
Ryan and
course.
Sharpay, because then we could do the songs.
Yes.
Bop to the top.
Okay, I
and-
love that. Okay.
Bop, bop,
Elwoods
bop
and
to the top.
Paulette.
Oh, that's
Alfie and Galinda,
iconic.
obviously. Everyone's saying
Have to.
that.
We just don't know the outfits for that one because there's so many.
For all my UK baddies, I want them to cosplay as Chelsea Lee Art and Elphaba. But who would be who? Oh no, I feel like Trisha is so Chelsea Lee Art. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't need to. Colleen is so Elphaba.
I
Iconic
know.
looks.
There's so many. But anyway, there's so many. But thank you for all the
Right?
suggestions because we have so many ideas already.
Yeah,
But
we'll
keep
do
them
all
coming.
those.
We'll do all of your ideas.
Yes.
And then Rosalind said,
Is this comment real or are we reading Colleen's notes app? No, it's just Corey's text here.
how fast Trish talks is how fast Colleen thinks. Perfect duo. And I love that comment so much.
I love it.
It's
How did that person know how quick Trisha talked? She didn't get a chance to.
literally so accurate because we do talk so fast and we talk over each other and our
We talk over each other. We.
topics change 24/7. We
Yeah.
cannot shut up.
Yeah, all the time, even in real life.
I know. It's it is nonstop like this. And so anyway, a lot of people mentioned that we both talk too fast or not too fast. People are saying they like it.
Yeah. Because it is a thing, for ASMR too, to keep up. It's kind of like a keep up thing if you have ADHD, but even if you just fast paced thing, people don't like to have a long drawn out conversation sometimes. You just kind of bop around.
Bop around. That's
Yeah.
what we do. We bop around.
Yes.
Aubrey,
Which I don't know about you. I watch your videos. I've watched your videos for so long, and I always think of you as just kind of a chill. And you're very bubbly. You're very Elwoods. You're very bubbly. You're very
Elwoods? I've never told that
You're very
before.
sorority girl vibes, head cheerleader vibes.
I have my
You're very sorority girl, head cheerleader vibes. I don't know if that's a compliment. That's kind of fast paced. Yeah, I did say that the fast talking was great. I love the fast talking. I said, as much as I can shit on this podcast, one thing I appreciate is the speed in which they talk. I did compliment that. Trisha literally Trisha going, you give head of sorority, head of cheerleader, bitch.
Okay, I have
Which I didn't think of you.
I have my vibes. I have my when I'm excited and around people, I'm very outgoing and very bubbly. But then I definitely
Adderall,
when I
mama.
go home
That was
tonight,
a
I will be
joke.
I just want to
That
be on my
was a
phone and
joke.
not talk.
Oh, I'm the same
that was a
way.
joke.
I'll be overstimulated and need my time to just be quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just watch TV. I have my phone when we were chatting and stuff like that, just because when our episode came out, I just wanted to be there. But usually I don't. I usually leave it upstairs from 6 to 10. I never look at my phone because I'll have to just unwind. But when
Yeah.
our episode came out, we were so excited. So we were texting and everything back and forth because I was there at the live chat. You were there at the live chat. People
Yeah,
were
I
freaking
popped
out.
in, yeah.
Because I am really excited about this podcast. Everyone's like, Trisha's more excited. And I was like, I know.
First of all, no, it's not that at all. It's that like I said,
Go on. Tell us. Tell us.
And I told this
You're
to Trisha
busy,
too.
yeah.
By the way, I sent Trisha this long, obnoxious text message that was like, I'm so sorry. I was so negative in the podcast. I feel like I was too negative and I'm so sorry. And I was just like freaking out. But and I told you.
Because she's scared Trisha's gonna turn on her. She's scared Trisha's gonna turn on her. I love where this is going.
This is
Sorry, I'm gonna be so honest. They're watching drama channels. Whether they're watching mine or not, both of them are watching drama channels. I'm not gonna say they're watching mine, but they're watching people watching the podcast. Because for her to apologize for being so negative means she had to read or, hear negativity. But then they said 2 minutes ago that it was 100% positive response. I think the start of this so far has been responding to my entire stream.
that like I said at the beginning of this, like I always assume the worst and it's a defense mechanism so that I don't get disappointed because disappointment is a big issue with me, like, and always has been. Like when I get disappointed, I'm like devastated. It crushes me, sobbing. Like I'm not good when I am disappointed or let down. And so,
what about when you do it to other people?
To defend myself and with that, I always just assume the worst thing's gonna happen to me. So that way, if good things happen, then I'm always super surprised and excited. And if bad things happen, I'm like, well, I knew it was gonna happen. I prepared for this. So like,
is she saying that about Trisha exploding on her? She's like, I'm expecting this to go tits up about Trisha exploding on her.
We're having so
yeah, Trisha's ready to punch her. Look at Trisha. Jesus, Trisha's body language in this one. Camp.
So much fun and love this, and this is like totally just, it's the best.
You
like,
gotta expect the best.
Time.
You have to switch it so you expect the best. I'm so used to everything going wrong, so I handle it great. I'm just like used to it. I don't expect it. I'm like, you know what? Life's changing for me. This is where it's at. I expect the best. And when things are rejected or things don't go my way, it's like it doesn't surprise me. I'm like,
today,
opportunities are missed all the time for me. So I just,
sorry, something more interesting. I got my nails done today. Right. Camp.
Open up another, like already I was thinking, well, if you don't want to do this podcast, I'm like, you know what, we could switch into another podcast. I could do like a Wendy Williams, or I could do this. I'm trying to like already pivot. Honestly, at the end of the day, like Moses will be the last person to do a podcast with me because like if I keep getting canceled all the time, I'll be like, well, Moses will be here at the end of the day.
But you're not going to keep getting canceled because
you're. I changed that mindset too.
Colleen didn't finish her sentence. Colleen goes, but you're not going to get canceled because. Did you see that? She can't even pretend to be nice. No, Trisha, you're not going to get canceled because... Anyway, moving along.
I'm very, even when I see like bad comments or people bring up, I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
Thank you,
it's fine.
Cozy.
If whatever, if I change, it's fine. If people don't see it, it's fine. As long as I've changed inside. But no, I don't think of that either. I used to always say, I'm canceled, I'm this, I'm that. But I think things are going to change. That's why I'm saying, I see us being on TV. We could be Kelly and Mark Consuelos. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what that is.
Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos.
Oh my God, Kelly Ripa.
You're Kelly Ripa.
Seacrest.
No, Mark is her co-host now. We
Oh
could
my
be
God.
that. We could
I'm
be
so
The View, but not judgy.
I've been on Kelly. I've been on The View.
No.
Yeah.
Why do I not know that? How'd that
I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was
Does that make you feel like shit, Trisha?
fine. It was good. It was
That's terrifying.
fine. I will say Rosie O'Donnell was on at the time.
Oh.
And she was so sweet.
I live for Rosie.
She was so nice to me. And of everyone there, she was the only one who would like talk to me backstage.
Wow.
She was the only one who like came to my dressing room and said hi. Like
That's a tell.
everyone else, yeah, I think. And
For sure.
everyone else was fine. It's not like anyone was rude. It's just like no one else talked to me.
Yeah.
Except for when we were on camera. But it was terrifying, honestly. Like
5 women.
You have to get there early, like really, like 4 a.m. was like my pickup time.
Oh my God. It's 4 a.m. right now. On my way.
And like had to be camera ready, all that. Like it was crazy. And then we got there and you review everything that you're going to talk about for the day with like this huge team of people.
Yeah, Trisha,
talk
unclench
beforehand?
that fist.
Yeah, so we all, not like
Trisha
in-depth
goes,
or
"You were
anything.
on
It's
The
more
View?"
Like they want everything to be
Oh, she did.
organic. I mean, this was years ago. I don't know how they do it now, but like we went over all the topics we might go over, and they were like, they kind of would be like, "What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this?" Okay, they don't want you to go deep into it. They want you to just see if like it would be interesting.
Were you doing Hot Topics with them?
Yeah, I was like one of the guest co-hosts for the day.
I wasn't like a guest.
I wasn't a guest. I was like a guest co-host. And they asked me to come back and be like a co-host for a longer period of time. And I was like, I literally can't.
Why?
Like it was too scary. I was so nervous.
Oh my gosh.
I was so nervous, truly.
You are. Well,
Wait, I missed that. Did she just say that she was going to be a host on The View? How is it that anything Trisha is interested in, Colleen has been offered full stop? Trisha could be like, I love politics. And Colleen could be, oh my God, I'm running for the Republican Party this year. Like, literally, like, anything Trisha does, or anything Trisha likes, they want Colleen.
At the time that you had your show and stuff, you were doing your own thing.
I don't remember what I was doing at the time. I don't think I wasn't doing Haters Back Off or anything.
You weren't. So you weren't promoting anything. They just asked you to be on. I mean, I would do it.
I really honestly don't remember. I know that I don't remember why they asked me to be on. They just did. And I did it and I was so nervous because I didn't do many things as me back then. It was
Trisha, you said you feel inferior to Colleen at the start of the podcast. How do you feel now, 8 minutes in?
All Miranda back then. And so they asked me to do something as me. And so I was nervous to be myself. And I've never watched it. So I don't even I don't remember anything I said. I don't know what I said on the episode.
They give such strong opinions too. So you're very considerate of people's feelings. Like the View people, they just don't.
Cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit. That is not true. Now we just lying.
Don't care, which is fine. That's why people like them. They just say what they say. But how were you? Were you giving your opinion, or were you
don't remember. I feel like I was probably boring and bland, like what everyone says on here.
It's better. We want to be boring and bland.
I do. Well, that's my goal. Literally in the intro of my vlogs that I do is I'm vlogging. It's boring. I'm Colleen. I literally am letting you know. And it's not that I think I'm so boring. It's that I feel like other people would find it boring because I'm literally just I don't do anything controversial, crazy. I'm not trying.
It doesn't matter if you're boring or not, Colleen, because they're only watching because of the kitties. So that's why they watch.
To be, at least I'm always trying to just be
it's a better way to be. I used to always just want to be controversial and for attention. I'd rather people always oh, you got so boring, your views are down. I was I'd rather be that than canceled and making people upset and getting anxiety every night. Because every night I'd be oh my gosh, someone's gonna come to my house, and oh my gosh, everyone hates me, and oh my gosh, I ruined myself. Now
Girl, if you hadn't had your baby, you would still be doing that. Please.
I sleep easy.
And it's not because you grew because you had your baby. You have another source of income. Your baby.
And I sleep very peacefully, even if it's boring. And I'm oh, everything's
Well, I don't think it's
fine.
Boring. I say it's boring,
either.
but no, I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you're the most optimistic ever.
So interesting. I have so many questions for you because I literally was I just want to interview you because I watch so many things now. I think because you're on my algorithm now of TikTok, I see all your stuff pop up, and I was oh my God, there's so many questions all the time.
I know. I have so many for you too. I'm
it's crazy, but you've done big things The View, Netflix, all this stuff is really huge things.
I almost brought up today. I was looked up. I was okay, I know you've been on so many different shows, and I was I'm gonna look them up and bring them all up. And the list is too long
yeah,
of all the stuff you've done.
Big characters. You've been invited as yourself to be a person. Dreams. Oh, we talked about this.
Oh my God. Are we ever gonna be able to have a good conversation on this podcast? To give fucking props to her, Colleen just initiated a conversation with Trisha for Trisha to gloat for a moment. You know what I mean? Colleen passed the fucking torch for a moment. And then Colleen brings it back to, Colleen's amazing life. Girl, you either don't act like a fucking super fan in the podcast or you act like her friend. Because otherwise, this is just going to be a podcast of interviewing Colleen. And you're allowing her to just talk over you.
It's when you were on Jimmy Fallon, but I think even before or maybe after that, I don't know. But I did a video where I just sat on the couch pretending to talk to Jimmy.
I love that video so much, though. That was so funny.
So when I see people get on there, I'm just how do they
realizing Trisha can't be in on this because she's actually showing interest in Colleen. Yep.
On there,
I don't know.
Wait, did they call you or PR?
So, okay, well, the first time I was on Jimmy Fallon, because I've done it 3 times, and the first time I was
Trisha, you like Jimmy Fallon? She's done it. Wait, she's done it 1, 2, 3 times.
on it was because Jerry Seinfeld vouched for me and got me on. So he was going to be on the show to promote his show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Oh my God, how many fucking names did she drop there now? Throw some more in.
And I had just filmed an episode with him, and he really liked my Miranda character at the time. That's why he asked me, which I was why are you asking me to be on the show? In fact, when they called me and they were hey, Jerry wants you to do something with his show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, nowhere in my mind was I thinking oh, Jerry Seinfeld wants me to do the show. I thought he wanted me to, his team wanted me to promote it. That's what I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was oh yeah, I love him. Obviously, he's a legend.
Yeah.
And so I was like, of course. But then they were like, okay, we're going to give them your phone number. And I was like, great. And then I got a phone call one day and it was a random number. And I was like, oh, it's probably like, I knew they were going to be calling. And I thought it'd be his team. And literally I pick up and he's like, hey, it's Jerry. No. And I was like, what? And he was so nice to me. Like, he was so sweet. And we talked often because like all the other guests on his show are very famous comedians. And then there's like randomly me. It makes no sense. And all these comedians are friends with him, like, because he's
been around,
the most famous comedian ever.
And so with the biggest show ever, like literally the biggest show ever.
And so like he wanted to get to know me a little bit better because I obviously don't know him, he doesn't know me. So we would talk like, oh, what ideas did we have to do on his show and stuff. So
I would love someone to create like, the way like K-pop fans will do like line distribution where like for however long each member of the K-pop group sings for, they put it in seconds. So they go like Jennie sang for, 59 seconds of the song, or Lisa sang for 23 seconds. Can we do episode by episode how long each of these women talk for? Like, just to see like what the balance is. Can someone who's severely unemployed, me, do that? I'll have it due by the morning.
He was really sweet. Anyway, we did the show and we filmed it and it was coming out and he was like, hey, I'm going on. He just called me randomly. It was like a Friday. And he was like, hey, I'm doing Jimmy Fallon next week. Like, I think it was like on a Monday or two. I don't know. It was not a lot of time in between the phone call. And he's like, and I think you should come on it with me. And he was so chill about it. And I was like,
just the other day, Ethan had directly called out how her episode of Comedians in Cars was the works of Allah.
Oh, the worst of them? I mean, it was pretty badly reviewed.
Yes.
It was pretty hard to defend in the moment, I'll be honest.
Yeah, he's like, all right, we'll fly you out. And like, so they flew me out to New York just for like that day. And like, I went on, and it was him, Jimmy Fallon, Martin Short, and
yes, you played a game
Jerry
with them,
Seinfeld,
right?
and me. Yeah, we played Pictionary.
Oh my God, Trisha knows everything about Colleen's life. Wow. You know what? Trisha is literally giving Colleen the power dynamic here, so I can't even fault Colleen that much for it anymore because Trisha is literally... This is an interview. This is an interview. There is no sense of friendship here. This is an interview. This is a super fan interviewing. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to acknowledge that Colleen has made fun of her and stuff like that. Because she's enthralled by her.
Because Miranda was like known, but like... Miranda was popular, but not like super popular. Like I didn't have a Netflix show yet.
Okay,
like, it was like very
don't have the Netflix show night either.
Niche.
Sorry.
And so the audience there, I feel like had no idea who I was and was so confused because it was weird. It was like Jerry Seinfeld and Martin Short and Jimmy Fallon and like me. Like it was so weird. They're all like these famous comedians in suits and like me in my red pants. I was so nervous I was gonna die. And then
Sorry, can we talk about the fact that you would think that Trisha has never left her house? How many shows has Trisha been on? Reality shows, all these different things. How is she allowing Colleen's one experience to one-up her entire thing here? Trisha, speak up! Get some words in, mama. You're acting like you've never understood the concept of being on a TV show before. You've done the most amount of shows ever.
So we're backstage. I'll never forget the moment we're backstage. We're about to go out, and I was so nervous. I'm standing with Jerry in the dark behind a curtain, and he just like belly laughs, and he's like, "This is so effing weird." But,
Did he?
Yeah,
Before or after?
That's weird. Before, like he was just laughing. He's like, "This is so weird." Like he thought it was so funny how weird it was.
Because it's random too, like so random.
His manager repped Andy Kaufman, who's like obviously.
I mean, that's my hero. That's who I wanted to be.
He's everything.
I love Andy Kaufman.
He's the most iconic troll of trolls. Like he is like a genius comedian.
Good.
And I love him. And so his man.
Remember when she wanted to continue the show after Netflix but whined about how they wouldn't let her? Fun fact. One thing you've reminded me that I've never said before because it has never came up, but like it has just reminded me in terms of the Netflix. Oh my God, I remember. So when her Netflix show was about to be cancelled, we found out within the fandom because Netflix employees were telling people who were messaging, being like, when's the next season coming or when's whatever. They were responding being like, the show is not performing well. They were like, the show's not performing well. And the employees were not supposed to be saying this. The employees were not supposed to be saying this. They said that no one was watching the final season. I told Colleen this. And I showed her the messages from the Netflix employees.
Haters Back Off has to be the worst Netflix original to exist.
Hey, I didn't say it. You said it. I remember I showed her the messages from the Netflix employee, and she, obviously, I mean, very hurtful thing. She hadn't even been told that the show was cancelled yet. She sent all of us to just bully the Netflix customer service team. And when I tell you that, like an army, we harassed the Netflix customer service, my ass, smoke coming off my phone, all of us, and she was livid. She was livid. She was telling all of us to message them, to tweet that. No, sorry. It was on one of their live chats. That's what it was. She was telling us that we need to make our voices heard. We need to tell them that the show's so good and whatever like that. She literally, this is what I'm saying. So like something would be embarrassing for her, she would send us, the fucking army, to help her. So there's a lot of things she's not revealing about Netflix.
Manager was really excited because he felt like I was like similar, and that was just the biggest compliment in the world.
No, for sure.
Well, just like a character.
I feel bad for the customer service reps. I'm so embarrassed that I did that. However, she was like late 20s, maybe early 30s. I would have been like 14. I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying 14-year-old, 30-year-old, we would know better.
It's like, is she real? Is she not? Was like how it kind of got started.
I'm not saying I'm a victim, by the way, in that. I'm literally just saying that like we were all like 13, 14, like just following this 30-year-old telling us to just bully people.
That's how it started with Miranda's. Like everyone was like, is this a real person? Is it not? And that was very Andy Kaufman. So like they were just also nice. But anyway.
I mean, that's a huge compliment. That's like the biggest.
Yeah. So like that's how I got on the show the first time, was Jerry vouched for me. So I don't think anyone at Jimmy Fallon's show like knew who I was, but Jerry was like, he can do whatever he wants. Like,
right.
So I think he was just like, hey, I'm gonna
bring this person on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring this random girl that no one knows who.
Also, maybe one day I'll reveal the stories I have on her brother Trent, because there was a lot, and I have like there's like a lot of people that like have spoken about this behind the scenes, like to this day, about her brother Trent. How do I want to phrase this without saying what I have on Trent? Using the fact that his sister had a audience who adored anyone and would talk to anyone, thinking it would get to her, and you know, how do I want to phrase this without... Trent loved that he could use the fact that Colleen was his sister to have private conversations with her... I'll leave it there. But there... I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Do I want to leave it there? No, I'll save it.
Really weird.
God. Did you break character?
No.
You were in character the whole time?
Well, I mean...
But, like, Trent is so creepy. Like, I don't fuck with Trent.
On the camera, but, like, when I met Jimmy and everything, I was
interesting.
Me.
I always think it's so fascinating when people just stay in character. Like, Jim Carrey, when he played Andy Kaufman, like, just stayed in character the whole time. Which is, like, I wonder if you did that as Miranda.
No, I used to when I first started doing Miranda. I would do that. When I'd go to gigs, I would, like, walk.
If you ever do a series, we'll support you. I don't think I'll ever make a video unless she provokes me. Like, if Colleen was ever... And hi, Colleen. If she was ever to provoke me, then is when, you know, the floodgates would open. But until then, I'm just going to respond to podcasts and shit like that. However, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I get pushed to my limit, then I get pushed to my limit. And let me tell you, you will all love it. But yeah.
Walk to the venue in character and stay in character the whole
time.
Can we
get some high Colleen's in chat for whenever she's watching this? And also hi, Trisha's.
You know, it was eventually people figured out. It's the internet. They found me, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was...
Wow.
Anyway, why are we talking about that?
How you got on Jimmy Fallon? Did they call you PR manager at Netflix?
No. So the first time I went on was because of Jerry. And then the second time...
Now I'm hoping she pushes your buttons.
And third time... Wait, the second time was for Haters Back Off. And the next time was for my book? Or was it
Fun fact... After one of my recent streams, a news publication reached out to me saying that they would love to do a tell-all interview with me, but they would want me to exclusively give them, like, everything I have. And I told them, right now because I would rather do it on my own thing. However, whenever I tell you that, like, news publications are, like, on to her now, like, they're on to her now, I don't know whether it's because I'm friends with a lot of journalists and they have told their journalist friends, like, none of my friends who are journalists would ever write articles on me because, like, morally it would be wrong, but they've told their journalist friends about stories and then they are wanting to talk to me. There's, like, it's interesting. Behind the scenes recently, especially since I've started covering this podcast, has been fascinating.
For Haters Back Up Again. I don't remember.
Was it so Netflix wouldn't make these, or they would call you directly?
I had a PR person and Netflix had a PR person.
Oh my God.
But they kind of, I don't know which one. Just I got a call that I was going on the show. So like I did a whole bunch of, I went out to New York and did a whole bunch of PR for Haters Back Off on Netflix, and that was one of the things I did. But I also did Kelly and Ryan a few times.
Has she ever threatened you with legal? But how would, like, what would she threaten me with legal? Like, if she sent me a cease and desist, okay, great, then I show everything. Or I talk about everything. What, she threatens to sue me and then I'll just, tell everything? Like, why do you think I've never gotten sued by her? Why do you think I've never gotten a cease and desist by her? And she knows if she would do that, like, I would be like, okay, hi muckers, welcome back to today's video. Let's read out the cease and desist. And also, new video coming tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean?
I've been there on theirs a few times.
He's like, who's Kelly? I was like, wait.
No, I know Kelly Ripa.
Ryan.
I know Kelly Ripa. But when you said Kelly and someone else, I was like, what's that show? I actually, like, I've done Kelly and Ripa, I've done Kelly and Ryan, and then Kelly Ripa's also just did a game show, like Generation Gap or something, and I was on that recently.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Did it air?
Oh my God, she's just like, and that show I was on, and that show I was on, and what were you on, Trish? Trisha was on everything!
They just call you, or they call your manager. You have a manager.
Someone reached out to, I feel like anytime I get anything, it's because, like, one person on the team, like, knows who I am or something. Like, I feel like they're at a board meeting and there's probably one person who's like, I love this.
15 minutes, and I don't think Trisha has said something yet. Like, Trisha has not had a conversation about herself yet in 15 minutes.
Girl Miranda sings and everyone's like, who is that? And they're like, trust me, it'll be great. Like, I feel like there's one person who vouches for me and somehow I get on
But
things.
sometimes those people, I've had that happen too, and sometimes those people, like, literally get fired. I'll see them, like, years later. I'm like, thank you so much for, like, letting me on, like, America's Got Talent. They're like, yeah, I got, like, fired right after. But I don't know if it's me, but they'll say that was the last season I worked on.
Wow.
And it's happened twice, Guinness World Records too. They're like, yeah, they let me go, like, a couple weeks after, because the person who did, because the only time I ever did a PR tour in New York was with Guinness World Records. I went with the host, and I was, like, on Good Morning. I was doing all these things too.
Are you actually in the Guinness Book of World Records?
No, it was a reality. It was a competition show that Guinness World Records had.
Oh, okay.
I tried to break the record, and I didn't even break the record, but they had me doing the PR, which was so weird. So I was going.
Trisha trying to say something about her and Colleen, like, undermines her. But were you really in the Guinness World Records? No. So let's stop.
Around all these places with Al Roker doing the weather and stuff, but I didn't even get the world record, which was so weird. But they had me doing these fast talking things. It was fun because, like, I always wondered how people get on TV shows, and finally I, like, had that in because it was with, I don't even know what the network was. But
when was this?
Oh my God, like 2012, 2011.
Okay.
It was a long time ago, and I would thought this was, like, the coolest thing ever. Like, I got to be on all these shows, and they had me do fast talking on all these shows. It was really fun. So that's the only thing I know. But then when I did that show, a lot of people, like, the person after was like, yeah, like, people were like, and I wasn't even that controversial back then, although I was. 2011 was the year, speaking of Andy Kaufman, that I did a whole Andy Kaufman year. I got canceled so hard, and I still get canceled. I did this whole bit, an Andy Kaufman bit. It was, like, word for word, and I totally got canceled, but, like, Andy Kaufman's considered, like, a genius. It was something about how, like, women should do the cooking and men, whatever, you know what I mean? And I did the word for word verbatim as he did it on, like, the Letterman show, and then I got canceled, and I was just like, it was a bit, and I copied it word for word, but
well,
no, it was my mistake. Maybe not in this new generation. That was the 70s. Here's me just trying to, like, anyways, keep that in, don't keep that in. I don't want to get canceled. Just that clip is like, Trisha thinks women should cook and clean.
No. Oh my God. Yeah, that was the one thing they did teach me about in PR was, like, sound bites. They're don't say anything on red carpets that, like, someone could clip and then use it against you later. And I was like, what? That could be anything. Like, literally, they could do anything.
Can I tell you, on the teaser trailer, our editor Taylor was like, he's like, I'm gonna make it drama. I'm gonna take things out of context. I'm like, okay, don't do too much though, because, like, Colleen doesn't want to be, like, in drama or something like that. So he did the thing, and your first note back to him was like, it could be a little more dramatic. And I was just like, oh.
Well, only because it was obvious that it was, like, campy. Like, he put, like, dramatic music under.
Yeah.
And so it was, like, funny. It was, like, for comedic beats.
That went a full turn. We were talking about
I know. Well, because I was reading comments.
Yeah,
I was reading comments at one point.
Let's go back to the comments.
I'm gonna read a couple more, but like,
no, the comments are best.
I'll do it fast. Okay, so Aubrey said definitely do a ghost segment. We will. I don't know if we'll do it this episode, hopefully, but who knows? We can't even keep on one topic for more than 3 seconds.
Do we dress as ghosts, or are we doing a ghost vlog, or are we ghosts?
Well, this is what I want to do. Okay,
ghost
see,
host.
I already.
Trisha started talking about something she wanted to do, and Colleen goes, okay, whoa. What I want to do. That's camp.
Not reading comments. We're supposed to be reading more comments. What I want to do is a Mary Kate and Ashley episode because I am so
I thought this was
annoyed
Mary
at
Kate and
Trisha.
Ashley.
Like, I am mad at her. We're in a fight because literally she does not know anything about Mary Kate and Ashley.
I know nothing.
And they're
I didn't know they had movies. I
Oh
didn't
my
know.
God, I can't even talk about it because you are so, you would love their vibe. Like their music videos from when they were kids, like are my favorite.
They did
things.
music videos, so they had original songs, or were they doing covers?
They have one called "Give Me Pizza."
Oh, yeah, you sent me that one.
P-I-Z-Z-A. There's another one so good. There it's like so, it's just so awkward, and you know I love awkward, and so it's like, there's one where they're like waiting for a phone call, and it's so painfully awkward. I love it. It's like waiting, waiting. Everybody's playing the waiting game. But I want to recreate like thank you. I want to recreate all the music videos with you. I could talk about Mary Kate and Ashley forever.
I need to learn it because when I get into something, I need to really like obsess over it. So I really need to watch the movies and stuff. Otherwise, like I can't get into it. I have to like really like immerse into it. So I have to.
Well, I feel
where
like
to start? I don't know.
I'll tell you everything. So if we ever do a Mary Kate and Ashley episode, I feel like that's a good slumber party.
The opinion she has of the Olsen twins makes so much sense with her pattern of child exploitation. Whoa, that was a crazy comment.
Sleepover vibes.
Totally.
Because they did all these different like slumber party type detective fun. They did a ton of different videos, but I feel like that's a good like sleepover vibes. We'll be in like cozy overalls or something, and that I could tell ghost
stories. Do
they
wear overalls, or are we just us?
Often? No, we'd be them.
Okay.
I feel like we need like that's the thing is Mary Kate and Ashley. There's so many options. I feel like we'd have to do like 3 outfit changes.
I love the only Mary Kate and Ashley I love, and this is probably not even an American Ashley movie. I think they were just in this movie, but she has this like big ball gown and she's like playing piano and she eats snails.
Yes, it takes 2. It's so good. Yes, that's
and the other one has like a baseball cap and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Like, so what's so good is like, okay, Mary Kate.
You know what? I'm just grateful we're not having mommy talk. Who am I to complain? Because we're finally not getting mommy talk. We're finally not getting mommy talk. Bitch, I'm just getting into bed, actually. This is putting me to sleep. I'm just getting into bed. Give me a moment. Yeah, we're just in bed now. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Thanks for putting me to sleep, ladies. I'm gonna have a beautiful night's sleep. We're only 19 minutes in.
Actually, I love them so much, but like they're okay. Don't put
oh
me. I'm not gonna go on the record for this and cancel, but like they're not very good at acting, and I don't mean that in like a mean way. I just mean it in like.
They're not actresses. They're a brand. They're personalities.
They're like a brand, and like they're perfect actors for kids. Like I didn't notice when I was a kid, but now watching back, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's not their vibe. Like they wanted to be designers, and that's what they are, and they're successful at that. Whatever. But anyway,
like billionaires, right?
Yeah,
they have like Elizabeth and James, and
I think
that's like their perfume. It's like a big perfume at Sephora. And it's like their perfume.
Yeah, they're very successful. But anyway, they're wait, what were we just talking about? Oh, It Takes Two.
Yeah.
So I love that movie so.
It's with Kirstie Alley, right?
Yes,
Mac and cheese.
She's oh my God, she's so good.
Oh, so, Kirstie Alley. Everything.
She's
at the Tooth Fairy.
Everything.
I live for her.
She's everything.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, she okay. So in that movie, it starts off. There's like the girl. They're both the girls are total opposites, and they switch places. Is
they're
the
not
idea
twins, right? They're not separated at birth, like Parent Trap.
Sorry, I just overlooked her calling them shit actors, even though they were kids. I'm just.
It's exactly like Parent Trap, but like they totally stole from Parent Trap,
right.
But they made it a little different.
They're like, we're different people.
So it's like
we just look like each other.
You just look the same. Or I can't even remember.
Yeah, I think they're not related in that movie. They're like, wait, you look like me, and like,
God forbid Colleen cheer on anyone's success. They're just bad actors. Well, if you call her a bad actor, you're a hater. Oh my God, thank you so much for subscribing.
You look like me.
I think so. I can't even remember. It's been so long.
So crazy.
But what I love about it is the very beginning of the movie, the girl who's like
My Diet Coke has been sitting in this cup for so long that it just tastes like dissolved paper and plastic. Getting my daily microplastic. Lovely.
I think she's an orphan. Like she's like the
yes, with Kirstie Alley, yeah.
Or foster child or something. I'm not quite sure what she is. I don't remember. But she's literally has an accent at the beginning of the movie, but only in the first scene. She's like, "What are you doing? I'm walking here."
Yes.
And she's talking like that. It's so bizarre. And then the rest of the movie, it's gone.
Was Jerry Seinfeld in that movie?
Was what?
Jerry Seinfeld in it?
No.
Who's the guy? Why do I think of Jerry
It's
Seinfeld?
definitely not Jerry Seinfeld. I don't remember his name, but he was in a lot of movies back then. Like he was like the dad and everything, I feel.
Right.
I don't remember his name.
Oh God.
I don't know anybody's
Billy
name.
Crystal. No, okay.
No. Oh my God, no. But I love him so much.
I love Billy Crystal. It's so crazy how old of a soul you are too, because like, these people are before us even. Like they are kind of before our generation.
I was not allowed
do I
to
stand
watch
this with fake
anything
time?
really growing up.
Yeah,
so
I did.
I watched
Jesus.
old movies and like
too.
musicals and old stuff like that. Anyway.
That's why I love like Mel Brooks. He's 96. I want him as a guest on the podcast. I love him.
He's so great. Oh my God, there's
Yeah, the baby Olsen twins cannot compare to the acting skills of her children once she pulls the camera out. So they're not that good in her eyes.
so many comments. I feel like
more.
we're never even going to get through them all. But
Okay, the fact that they're going through the comments and making such a big point of the comments being very positive, girls, you're coming across forceful. If the comments were so positive and were so, amazing, you wouldn't need to dedicate the entire 30-minute intro to reading out how amazing the comments were. It comes across like the positive comments were, scarce or whatever the word is, they weren't really there. So you're focusing on them. I think they're trying to persuade themselves or trying to persuade the audience that this is a hit. They're trying so hard to let the audience know that people are loving this. That's what this is coming across as. When have you ever seen a YouTuber or a podcaster be like, let's spend 30 minutes reading out all of the amazing comments saying about how amazing this podcast is? Why would you do that? No one does that. Yeah, I want Colleen to talk about how her own fans, who are minorities, are calling for her to make a statement about associating with Trisha. I want to see that.
Every single one.
Adam, as a witness, did Colleen talk about her passion for theater often? Because I can't tell if she's forcing it because she knows it's something Trisha is invested in. No, she genuinely is like this. She's genuinely so into theater.
Try to favorite
which is fine.
We were at
no shade. I love theater. But no, it's not an act or anything. This is genuinely her.
Live chat. I really get excited.
The only thing she's pretending here is being nice to Trisha.
So many.
It's the thing I'm most excited about right now.
One of the top comments was fans should be called roachies, manifesting it. They want to be called roachies because we said we were cockroaches.
I like that. Is that the merch? We're little cockroach hoodies.
Merch? I didn't even think that far.
Oh, I do merch for Moses.
Oh, jeepers creepers. Remember you said this in Frenemies? Let's get merch. By the time it was manufactured, ooh hoo hoo.
Moses is my homeboy for Passover. I'm like, let's do Moses merch. I love merch because I love to buy merch. I buy everybody's merch.
Really?
I buy everyone's merch. I'm obsessed with merch.
Merch is my number one thing. I'm so bad at it.
Wait, really? I love it.
I have a great team of people now who help me. Because now I love my merch. I love the merch that I have. But I'm just
custom.
not. I don't. Yeah, but I just don't think. I don't know, because
don't think about it.
I'm I just don't think about it. I don't think about selling until my team's hey, you got to come up with new merch. Let's work on this. I literally had a meeting yesterday. I was sorry, I've been ghosting you for months. I
have all the merch ideas. I actually did my Sad Boy merch, but I got ripped off because I went with a company because I was trying to do custom everything. But I love merch. We've tried it so many times with companies, with whatever. I love it. I'll make it. I made it just for myself. I made no money on it. Yeah,
I just don't know anything about it.
I want to do the hoodie, the Oversharing.
Colleen goes, make merch for this. Do whatever you want. Just someone who's so not invested in this. Do what you want. Go make merch for this. Girl.
Logo, but I need it to be sequins and stuff. It's just hard to find companies that do it. Yeah.
Oh, rhinestones. Anything that sparkles, I'm going to be about.
Nobody does it those. It's just hard to find companies that do it. Like custom stuff. I don't know. If you're out there that does custom clothing,
oh my gosh, sparkles is when we first started talking about doing this, it was all we talked about was rhinestoning everything. So if this ever did become a bigger thing, if I
already got rhinestone cups being made, so we have to last a few.
If this ever becomes a bigger thing, Colleen says, she has no faith in Trishy Fishy. How many times does she keep mentioning if this goes somewhere, if we don't fall out, if you don't turn on me?
Few more weeks so I get the cups in here.
I'm gonna gag.
It is not.
Literally, I'm not kidding. If I walk through a store, it could be a Target, it could be Walmart, it could be anything. If something is sparkling, I want it so I can't. I'm like a moth to a flame. I'm it sparkles. It could be something that is not. I would never use.
Which is something I never thought about you either. I didn't realize how into bling you were. I don't know why I don't think.
I love a sparkle.
I don't know how I think of you, but you're very just bubbly, blonde, sparkly. I'm just that's how I think. You're not blonde, but that's how I think of you in my head.
But I'm also I am. But see, sometimes I feel I have all these versions of me.
Yeah.
It's yes, I am, especially when I'm around.
You do have a lot of versions of you, Queen.
Around people, if I'm meeting people or around people I like and I'm excited, I'm very bubbly and I'm very obnoxious, and it's something I was made fun of a lot for, even when oh my god, I'm getting off topic, but when I worked at Disneyland, I remember I was in this show called Playhouse Disney, and there's all these puppets, and I was the only human. It was Mickey Mouse and all these people, whatever. And anyway, so I did 6 shows a day, and in between the shows we'd all hang out in the puppeteers, and I would hang out in the break room. And because they're normal humans, they wanted to have a break during break. And I was
and what were you doing?
Let's play a game. Let's make a video. I was so obnoxious.
Really? Even back then?
Yes.
Oh my god. Colleen goes, I was so obnoxious, but I was so obnoxious even back then or something. And Trisha goes, oh, you were even back then?
Trisha
just calling Colleen obnoxious.
I remember I was like in this show called Playhouse Disney, and there's
This
like
podcast is fucking gold.
all these puppets, and I was the only like human. It was like Mickey Mouse and all these people, whatever. And anyway, so I did 6 shows a day, and in between the shows, we'd all hang out in the puppeteers, and I would hang out
Even
in
back
like
then?
you know the like break room. And because they're normal humans, they wanted to have a break during break. And I was like,
And what were you doing?
Let's play a game. Let's make a video. Like, I was like so obnoxious.
Really? Even back then?
Yeah.
Colleen, I was so obnoxious. Trisha, wow, even back then? I don't think Colleen was smart enough to catch it, though.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and I remember like
Colleen wasn't smart enough to catch it. That was a quick comment from Trisha. That was a nice little job.
one day they all just seemed like mad at me, and I was like, "What's going on?" So I kind of just like went to my own little corner.
That was funny.
And then all of a sudden, one of the guys was
That
like,
was funny,
a
actually.
friend of mine. He told me, he's like, "Everyone just thinks you're like just too much." And it
That's
broke my
why you have
heart.
that in your head, because you are very like, I know I'm too much, I know I'm this. You apologize a lot, and maybe that's why you have like PTSD from that.
I've been told that a lot in my life. Like, I'm too much, I'm too dramatic, I'm too sensitive, like, but I'm too much of like, I was a crazy friend. Like, when I was homeschooled, in the homeschool group, everyone was like, oh, she's a crazy one, she's a wacky one. Look how crazy Colleen is. Like, I was like, really?
Oh my god, so people were saying it even back then? No. You don't want to talk about pattern of behavior.
Because
Why?
I'm just
You had
outgoing, because I'm
energy.
just, I'm energetic, I guess. But
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
But I also
She just said she's a bad friend because she's energetic, I guess. Yeah, a quote from Trisha. You have PTSD from that. Yeah.
also am disgusting, which is something we don't have in common, Trisha.
Right, yeah, you're a burper.
Because I'm like a burper farter. Like, I love, like, here's the thing. Like, you and I both love sparkles and dresses. And like, I am very like girly. Like, when I was growing up, I was like tights and dresses and curls and like sparkles.
Yeah.
But I am also way more like, I'd rather be comfortable. I wish I could be that girly who like was like full glam makeup, like sparkles, dresses, cute outfits every day. But like, I'm in sweats every day. I'm in leggings, like in a big shirt. Like, I don't have the stamina to be that girly.
To be the girly.
So it's like my dream to be that girly, but like that's too much work. Like sitting cross-legged.
She's so relatable. Girl, you're like a mother to 3 kids, of course. You know what I mean? Like, you're, in your comfortable era. That's not something to be ashamed of. That's a very normal thing. You don't have to play the I'm not like other girls.
For an hour is like, this
I
is
don't know how you
exhausting
do
to
that.
me.
Because I'm actually not. I think that's why I don't do that, because I do feel. I think it's also because like you are traditionally like pretty and skinny, because I've always been like bigger.
Colleen's head right now is going. Trisha, you don't know what you've just done calling Colleen skinny. That is the biggest compliment you can give this girl. That is the biggest compliment you can give this girl. Trust me, I've had conversations about weight with this woman. That is the best. Oh, Trisha, you have no idea what. Oh my God. The floodgates. They've been opened. They've been opened. Oh my God. Hello. Oh my God. A second plane has hit the Oversharing podcast. We have no idea what's incoming.
Overweight. People think of overweight people sometimes as like gross or disgusting. Like, people just in general think
Some
they're
people,
fat. They think,
society's taught people that.
that's what I'm saying.
True.
Like
That is
fat,
not
they
true.
think, oh, you're.
Girl, you.
Obviously, I'm a fat person. I'm very hygienic, but people think, oh, they're not hygienic, whatever. So I think like growing up, I didn't want to be extra gross to people, because people always thought, oh, she's gross, she's fat. So I was always just trying, okay, I'm not gonna fart, I'm not gonna burp or whatever.
Trisha needs to stop putting herself down in front of Colleen, like, whatever. Yeah, I think because Trisha keeps saying that she feels inferior to Colleen, I feel like the only way she feels she can connect to Colleen is if she's putting herself down in front of her, which is depressing.
Like that. Because even on this show, on the podcast, like, I was surprised that, like, because we'll, like, delete some nasty comments if they're nasty. There wasn't many.
So, no. You don't want to talk about admitting that you're filtering your comments, which has just proven that the first part of your podcast today has been bullshit. Can we get some Fs in the chat, please? She just admitted that they filtered the shit out of the comment section. However, they spent the first 20 minutes telling us how the comment sections was completely positive. And it was so positive that we're going to read out the comments the entire video. She just admitted, we deleted comments. It's not a problem to delete comments. I'm not dissing you for that. But you're trying to force it so down our throats that it was such a well-received podcast. Now you've just admitted that you're filtering comments. Good job, Trish. Good job.
But if there was, and most of them were about like how fat I am and how much weight I gained, and I'm like, that's such a.
I'm sure most of the comments on a podcast with you and Colleen, in which every other platform that this is being repurposed on, you are being vindicated, and all the comment sections on all the platforms are feeling bad for you. I'm sure all the comments were all just about your weight, Trish. I'm sure. And I'm sure there were no comments about Colleen speaking down to you or, being derogatory towards you. I'm sure. Mm-hmm. All right.
Weird thing to like bring up in like 2023. I don't care. I'm so used to it. I'm numb to it. But it's interesting that
like, how could you be numb to that? Like, that can't be that. Like, that's so annoying. That's so frustrating because
you're like used to it. I don't know.
I guess, but like, it's still. I don't know. I feel like that could still hurt.
Of course, like I'm like, oh yeah, because I have gained weight. Like, you know what I mean. So it does like hurt to some degree, but at the same time, I'm like, that's such a weird comment. There's so many things to say about me, and a lot of people say a lot of other things too. But I'm like, that's such a weird. And it was the big one, and I don't know if it's because of our size difference, right? Because you are so petite.
Well,
oh, Trisha, stop. Trisha, stop. You have no idea what you're doing. Don't say these things to her. You're gonna, don't, Trisha, please. If I can give you one piece of advice, don't do it. As someone who talked to her about weight, don't do it, Trish.
But you know what it is it's,
Colleen goes, but the thing is, thank you, by the way. But the thing is,
people not being smart. Like, and I'm not trying to cause drama or whatever, but like, what a low blow. Like, that's the best you can come up with. Like, how rude to bring up someone's body. Like, no one should ever talk about anyone's body ever, I don't think. I think it's completely inappropriate and wrong, and every body size and shape is beautiful. It's so annoying to me that society has taught us that, this
girl, shut up. You were commenting on my body.
Shape looks good and this shape doesn't, whatever, because it changes too, like constantly. So like,
we were just talking about that too, how it's like it's being very thin is in right now, and it's
which
like
is so frustrating to me. Like, I'm
oh no, so frustrating. Please, I'm not gonna allow the woman who fucking has given so many of her fans I'll just speak for me then. I won't speak for the fans who literally, oh my God, her fans came into ex-fans came into my comment section a couple days ago, and they were all saying about like the implications of like how she, impacted a lot of people to do with weight, because so much of her content revolves around body checking and talking about weight, or talking about how things are skinny or thin or whatever. Oh my God, whenever her babies were a couple weeks out of the womb, she was talking about them gaining weight or losing weight or something, and so chubby or whatever, like that, whatever. Like, she focuses so much around that. But also, again, speaking personally, on Snapchat, whenever I was on holiday and sent pictures, she would always compliment if my legs or arms looked skinny. So please, this woman is not the poster child for talking about weight. Move on. And I know that you all can read that this is fake.
Like, I'm a thin person, but like, I know that I struggled in high school with like, because when we were in high school, like, it was like you needed to be skin and bones is what the look was.
The 90s was all skinny.
Like, if you look up like in the 90s and early 2000s specifically, who was considered overweight in the media.
It's crazy.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
The girls who were considered like
Colleen goes, it's really sad.
Overweight or chunky or whatever in the early 2000s, like, if you look, you guys would be shocked if you didn't grow up in that time. Like, I'm looking at pictures of people now. It's like Renee Zellweger. Do you remember that? Like, she was like, Jessica Simpson was shamed for a while.
Oh my
like,
God,
and they were not big, like
at all.
Like, I'm looking at pictures right now.
The Renee Zellweger one was crazy to me.
Charlie Theron. Like, I'm sure I said it wrong. How do you say her name?
Charlie. I have no idea.
Right.
I mean, her terminology there, where she's like, and they're not even big, goes to show like how flippantly she talks about weight. I think if that doesn't show you, then
Anyway, this picture, okay, there's a picture.
Oh, yeah, and how much weight she's gained. And
literally says, viewers couldn't believe how fat she looked in Monster.
Oh my God, like edited in.
Skinny.
That's so skinny. It's crazy.
She is skinny.
Crazy.
Jennifer Love Hewitt in this picture.
I remember that too. Or
she
Britney
was
Spears
blasted for her
fat.
size. Are you kidding me? These girls are like, they're so small.
So
like,
small.
That's what we were trained to see as like, that was big and bad and whatever, and which is so wrong.
Yeah.
And
Colleen showing Trisha these photos, being like, look how fat they were. They were shamed for it. So Trisha, how does that make you feel?
so the fact that like is kind of, I'm seeing it coming back as like a fat is like super, super, super skinny in the low-rise jeans and everything. I'm like, I'm so scared of that because like I was so excited when it was like we were starting to get to a place of just like it wasn't even body positivity. It was just like all bodies are wonderful.
Yeah,
like it's just
totally.
like just whatever your body is perfect and great. And like I felt like we were headed down that direction. It was like bigger butts were so in and like
bigger shapes, bellies,
like hellos, everything. And now I feel like we're going back down a road of like this like skinny, unhealthy. And it's like when
you literally cannot be like, we were going down such a good path of like, like bigger bodies or whatever like that. Stop commenting on bodies. You literally are playing. You do you understand how? Oh my God, it's bright outside. It is 5 a.m. Like, this is how much of a hypocrite she is. She's like, oh, why are we talking about people's bodies? And I hate that we don't just love people, live their bodies anymore. And then she's like, we were getting to a place when, bigger was better again and blah, blah. That's talking about bodies and talking and putting a size to it. You're being a hypocrite.
Whenever, like you were saying, like, I don't, I haven't lived your experience. But like, I never even thought about that before. How like,
Colleen goes, I haven't lived your experience. I'm a petite little girl.
Bigger girl would feel like, she has to like stay like, clean in some sense because people assume they're dirty. In the same way, people assume bigger girls are unhealthy.
Right. Always.
When like, I know that like after I had my babies, like people would be like, oh my God, the snapback and like you lost all the weight. And I'm like, and people would compliment it. And I'm like, But what they didn't know is like, I lost it in the most unhealthy way. I had so much anxiety. I wasn't eating well if I was eating at all. And when I was eating, it was garbage.
Because you were like, you had anxiety, so you weren't
such
eating.
bad postpartum anxiety and depression, and so I wasn't eating enough, and my anxiety was getting so bad I couldn't eat, and so like and when I did eat, like I said, it was like comfort food and like food that was not good for me, and so I was like, I'm getting praised for like being unhealthy essentially, whereas bigger girls can be completely healthy and be told they're
Okay, well, you're sitting with someone who said that she identifies with that, and you're not letting her speak. You're speaking for her. You're going, me as a skinny girl, I feel like this, and big girls feel like this.
unhealthy just because they're big.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. And I think about it the other way too. I always think about like skinny. I used to always tell people, oh my God, you're so skinny. And I like now know, like when you were saying sometimes there's a trigger about your legs or something like that. I always think, oh, skinny is what everybody.
I missed what Trisha brought up about Colleen's legs, or Colleen saying something about legs and skinny. Did she say it to other people too? Was I not special? Were my legs not skinny, Colleen?
Wants to be.
See how all my stories just kind of like line up? Have not watched this. Got back from Beyonce. I told you a story a couple days ago. Told you at the start of the stream. Look at that. Trisha has now mentioned a very similar thing that what I told you. I'm vindicated yet again.
Be everything is beautiful skinny, and like you said, they compliment when you lose weight, and it's crazy because like you said, if it's like, and that's why I never manifest. I'm a manifestor. Everyone's like, why don't you manifest being skinny? And I don't ever want to say I want to be skinny because like what if it's like through like I get sick or something like that, you know what I mean? I was to say I want to be healthy, which I could be a lot healthier because I was out of breath going up those stairs, but it is one of those things why I always do makeup, why I always do glam, because I just feel like I have to look a little like more put together than someone who's just very like thin and let things hang off or something like that.
Well, I think that's so annoying that people are commenting that and so rude, and also it just shows that you're not very smart. Like that's the best you can come up with. Like just jabbing at someone's body is so weird. Like that's so.
I think.
But you were the one that spoke for big girls that entire section.
I think no, it's like an insecurity.
I'm sorry, we didn't put a trigger warning or anything. Like I know body stuff is a very sensitive topic.
And, well, we can put it before.
We'll put a little trigger warning in.
Yeah, a little screen or something. Trigger warning. Body talk.
Yeah.
It is because it is actually a trigger. Because like when someone talks about being fat, right? Like I follow an influencer who's like not. She's like maybe 170 pounds, and she talks about how her weight gain and stuff. It like triggers me because I'm like, oh my God, she's like not fat at all, and she must think I'm like a cow because it's like a mutual person I follow.
She doesn't think that.
No, I know, of course not. And then, of course, everyone can feel fat. Like you could feel fat if you wanted to, or bloated. I know someone who's like really tiny and they always feel bloated or whatever. And it's like you're allowed to feel that way. Who was it? Oh, on TikTok, I love this girl. Do you know Alex Earl?
Probably. I don't know.
She's like okay, yeah. I had to know about your TikTok For You page. That's a whole other thing.
Oh my
God! But I love this girl,
God.
Alex. She's so beautiful. She's literally an influencer. She became like a Victoria's Secret model because of her influence, and she's really pretty and all stuff like that. But she had a TikTok where she's like, "Hey guys, sorry, I'm like feeling really gross today. Like ignore me." And she obviously looked beautiful, and people came for her like, "Oh my gosh, like stop it. You look beautiful." And I'm like, she's allowed to feel ugly just because you think she looks like gorgeous, and she did look gorgeous. But you know, people get so mad like when pretty people have problems too. But I know like skinny people, they can feel fat and whatever. But
when pretty people have problems, like, this is why Colleen did such a bad job talking, because Trisha is associating pretty people with skinny people. That's why Colleen did such a bad job.
For me, it is a trick. You have to like definitely put body, if you're talking about body or dieting or any stuff. Because of course, I would love to be trigger warning. I would love to be skinny. I always say that if I could be 100 pounds, I would be 100 pounds. I love food. I lack a lot of willpower.
Well, I think you are beautiful, obviously, and I think I never once have I ever looked at you and thought anything negative about.
Bonum, 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 bonum.
Your body.
I always think I look good too. I always think I look really
because
pretty.
You do.
But
Bonum, 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 bonum. If you don't give her eye contact, Colleen, it makes it more impactful.
I know. I also think like when I did gain weight, but also like size comparison. When I'm next to somebody, people used to do this with me and Moses all the time. It's like, look at her compared to Moses. And so like, yeah, if someone is smaller next to me, I look a little bigger, you know?
Well, that's
well, I don't really have any comment. I wonder how Colleen feels after going on that rant speaking for big girls a second ago and then now hearing what Trisha feels.
well, I mean,
I'm obsessed with your body though. I always think like when you tell me, oh, people call me chicken legs in school, I'm like, I have those legs.
Yeah, well, that is not okay. I think any talk about any body,
so
anyone else's body, and shaming anyone else's body, I think is so obnoxious, and I think it can go both ways. But I do think, and this is my own personal opinion, I do think that it is much harder for bigger girls than it is for skinny girls, obviously, in my opinion. And like, I'm not saying that to be like skinny girls don't get made fun of or whatever. Like whenever I'm skinny, immediately all the comments are, people tell me I have an eating disorder every day. Like you clearly need to get help. You have an eating disorder. You look disgusting. You're too skinny. You look so gross. Gain some weight. Eat a burger. I mean, I get all of that. You know, I've had my ups and downs in my body, especially when I gained almost 100 pounds both my pregnancies.
Really? Oh, I didn't know.
I gained 70 and then 80.
Wow. Was it your belly? Did you mostly gain it like baby?
No, I gained it everywhere. Like my face, like my legs, like everywhere.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
And
you did have a big belly. Can I say that? When your twins, they were not in a bad way, but your whole body was so little, and you had such a big belly. For me, I'd never looked pregnant. I just looked.
Oh my god, I looked pregnant like immediately with the twins. I felt, but
that's so cute though. I love that.
There's just like no room in there. I guess
I had no bump.
I have a really short torso and long legs. So like my torso is so tiny that there's not a lot of room. So it just had to go projectile out like a torpedo.
Your belly was cool though. I loved watching the journey of the belly.
Crazy. But anyway, I think that any talk of any bodies like is inappropriate, and don't do it. Don't talk about other people's bodies.
Right.
Unless you're saying you look amazing, that period, like nothing else.
Period,
like,
yeah. Not you look amazing for your weight, or you look amazing for a big girl.
Or whatever.
People always say it. No, the only reason I do talk about my own body is because I just feel like I want
people
to
talk
know.
About your own.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but I don't like. I sometimes don't like to because I don't want to be that person that like my whole thing is like my personality is just about my weight and being big and stuff like that. But I just think.
What I will say is, the comparison of weight conversations between Colleen and Trisha right now versus Trisha with Ethan is astronomical. Like, astronomical. Wow, Ethan handled these conversations so much better than Colleen is.
think it's important to talk about because, you know, I get insecure, but sometimes I'm really confident. Sometimes I'm overly confident. I was just telling this to Moses the other day. I literally feel like I have body dysmorphia sometimes where I just literally feel like I'm tinier than I am because I look at myself and I'm like, there was a movie. What movie was that where they're, Shallow Hell, which is kind of an awful movie. Did you ever watch that with Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow?
You'll find out that I've never seen any movies.
Which is crazy because you're so pop culture. You are very pop culture. You're very versed in it.
God, yeah, I guess in something. I'm like, it always surprises people what I know and what I don't know. Like,
you're not a movie girl.
No, I can't sit through movies. I have no attention span.
You don't watch TV shows?
I do. I watch reality and documentaries.
No series.
Not really. Like a few. Some of them I do, but
like White Lotus.
I like White Lotus.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
White Lotus is great, but it is hard for me to get into. And you know what? In White Lotus, the girl, Daphne.
Yeah.
What's her?
Daphne and Cameron.
What's her freaking name?
Oh,
my
I
gosh,
don't know.
it's crazy because I know her name and I know her.
Is she a known actress? I didn't know. I'd never seen her before.
She's like a Broadway girl. Megan Faye. Oh my God, that was
Wait, I've never heard of her. And I know somebody.
I've performed with her, and I.
Trisha, I love White Lotus. Colleen, well, I've worked with them.
I performed with her in New York City.
Of course.
She was in Next to Normal. Like, she was in do you know Next to Normal?
No. I know. Some of my theater is not,
no.
deep.
Like, I'm excited.
Really?
Because you need to know it.
Musical or show?
It's
oh my God. Get your hand off her.
Really?
It's so good.
How do I not know? It was anyone else?
Oh my God, how awkward is this? So awkward. I'd be like, stop.
Wasn't it with her, or she's the star?
She
God, that
wasn't
lasted
the
so
original,
long.
but she was in it. Oh my God, I wish I could tell you everything, but I don't want to give away spoilers. It's so good.
Oh my God.
Okay, so anyway, she's a beautiful voice, Megan Faye, and like, oh my God, there's so much I could say about her. But anyway, I got to do a little song with her in New York City at a cabaret, because when I lived in New York, I would just randomly sing it. Anything anyone asked me to do, I would say yes. And
Did you do 54 Below?
Yes, I've been there, but I never did like my own show there.
Okay. I love the background when people do that. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You have to do it just for TikTok because I love the TikTok.
I know. But anyways, no, of course.
I get excited.
No, me too. But anyway, she's great. And when I watched White Lotus, I like didn't even recognize her at first, and then later, like people started like posting on like social media to me, like, "Oh my God, you sang with her," and I was like, "What?" And then I remember I was like, "Oh my God, that's Megan." I didn't even recognize her. Yeah.
What's the song? What do you guys sing?
We sing a couple things. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
As Miranda or
no, as me. I'll show you later.
Just on your channel, on your blog?
No, it wasn't on me. It was like some composers
at a cabaret.
Had a cabaret show, and like they had a bunch of different people come in and sing.
I want to know what you're saying.
I love
duets. I love everything.
I'll show you later. But anyway, why did I even bring that up? I don't know.
Because White Lotus.
Because Trisha was finally talking about something she was interested in. You had to one up her. That was why you brought it up. Just clear it up.
You don't watch TV.
Oh my God, sorry guys. This is.
I watch so much TV. I'm always been because growing up you didn't watch TV because I was like all I watched.
No, so this is why like YouTube and social media is such a good job for me because we weren't allowed to watch much and I couldn't even like read Harry Potter, like nothing like that. Like everything was kind of like satanic, whatever. So I didn't watch much. I watched Disney movies. But other than that, like not really anything. And plus we didn't have cable, so like there was nothing to watch.
You didn't watch Saved by the Bell or
no, and also that was inappropriate. But like,
I've learned nothing about Trisha in this podcast.
Like
really?
Yeah, there's inappropriate stuff in that for us too. But but also we would just make our own videos. So we had a camcorder and like camcorder. I sound so old, but like we did. And we would make our own videos so like my home videos, we have home videos where it's like opening Christmas presents, whatever, but the majority of them are like a storyline. And like we like and we talk to the camera and we're like, you know, hey guys, watch this video. And we're talking to ourselves because we're the only ones who ever watch them.
Wow.
So
did you ever upload them?
There's a few online, I think, somewhere, but like
I love seeing that.
Oh my God,
I love seeing old clips of
I love
when they're
home
kids,
videos.
and you're just like,
oh
my God, they were the same.
Yeah,
like you're exactly how you are now.
I can show you stuff, but this job like ended up being perfect for me. It's like I trained for it my whole life because I wasn't allowed to watch anything.
You could have done YouTube when you were like 12 years old. You could have been posting. I was thinking.
Don't worry, she's making sure her kids will be working from right out the womb, Trish.
Social media when I was like 12 because we didn't film ourselves,
God,
but we I would have lived.
Can we please talk about these two mommy vloggers saying, thank God I wasn't on the internet whenever I was 12? Do I need to explain why that is ironic for mommy vloggers to say, thank God I wasn't on the internet at 12? Do I need to explain why that is so ironic? The irony. My God, they're
for it to see
I would not
yourself on like, I don't know. To me, I always wanted to be like an actress, even at like 10. I'm like, I want to be, but I didn't know how to like get in the door. I still don't have agents or headshots or anything, but I never knew how you did it back then. But if we would have had YouTube back then, I'd be like, someone's gonna see me. That's how I thought. That's why I started YouTube when I was 18. I thought like all my videos about Quentin Tarantino. I thought, oh, he's gonna see me. He's gonna put me in a movie. Didn't happen.
Well, you're here
waiting.
now.
I still think one day, that's why I do so many cosplays and acting. I'm like, one day someone will do a show and be like, Trisha's perfect for this.
You've been on so many shows.
No, but not like
yeah, we would have found out fucking 20 minutes ago, but you didn't let her speak.
acting. Because I would always make a fool of myself just to be on TV. I didn't mind being the butt of the joke. I still don't mind being a like I don't want to be a joke, but I don't mind being part of the joke. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like the people everyone's like laughing at.
Yeah.
Because like when I just
Ironic. I don't want to be the person people are laughing at. I'm not going to say anything.
I did America's Got Talent, at first I thought it was like serious, and then they kind of made it when I realized it was supposed to be a joke, and I was just like, oh shoot, I'm like the joke on this. So then I had to really turn it into being jokey. But at the beginning, I thought, oh, this was serious because I was doing so much fast talking on like Ellen and Guinness World Records. I thought, oh, they want me on there for that, and then I realized it was supposed to be a joke, and I was like, let me just change this up real quick.
I feel like you've been the butt of a joke a lot on the.
Hope the concert was amazing.
Oh my
Purple
God.
Heart.
Thank you so much. Beyonce was so good. Thank you so much. Who was that? Oh my God, Chloe. Hi.
Internet.
Yeah, I feel like that was my talent.
Wait, Colleen just went, you've been the butt of the joke on the internet a lot. Does that upset you? The only questions Colleen asked Trisha are like degrading questions.
It doesn't upset me, and I don't mind it still. Like, I don't mind it, but I feel like it's kind of my defense mechanism where I'm like, you know what? I'm like, oh, I'm not talented. I'll just be this. I'll be this dumb. I'll be like, whatever. You can make fun of me and all that stuff like that. But I think after a while, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like more than this. And it kind of gets to be exhausting. You know, I've done it for 10 years. I'm like, okay, people are, I'm like the punching bag. Like when I've been in like groups on YouTube, I've always been kind of like the joke in the punching bag. And like at the time, it kind of feels
like you
good.
lean into it.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, well, I'm getting attention and this is views and all stuff like that. So it's not to say I wouldn't mind it, but I think times change a lot too, where it's like not as funny to like be mean to people. You know?
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Honestly, this feels crazy to say, but I feel like Trisha doesn't feel the need to brag about any of her accomplishments because she knows how entertaining she is, whether she was on something or not.
And at the time, I like took it as a joke, you know. But then you look back and you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of like, oh, I was kind of like degrading myself a little bit, but I didn't mind it at the time. It's just like looking back, I'm like,
yeah.
So now I'm kind of like, I want to be like on TV, but I want to be like good, you know, I like Jennifer Coolidge. Like I want to be like something good like that. You know what I mean? But I also just like to be fun and funny and whatever.
You're. I think you're very funny. I think you have very good comedic timing. And so, yeah, I was surprised we were doing a photo shoot earlier, which we need to talk about Romy and Michelle.
But yeah, in high school. And
I know.
all that.
I had all these comments, all these topics I want to talk about.
We have to do a high school.
Like literally, if anyone ever is listening to this and it's like they should have more of a structure. Like we literally can't. I tried. I literally have a whole notes app. Like
we're not really asking for a structure. We're just wanting Trisha to really be a part of the conversation.
Full of like ideas and questions and all stuff. Like we literally can't. But
we have to talk about high school because we are just
I know that's what I was gonna say. Romy and Michelle. Okay, wait. I wanted to finish the thought. Oh shoot, what we were just talking about.
My goodness, Trisha. Let's move on to the next topic. Colleen, hold that thought. I have more to say about the previous topic.
A millisecond ago.
We were talking about when you were listening. Okay,
being the butt of the joke and laughing. Oh, you're funny.
Trisha not knowing what Colleen was talking about because she wasn't listening is kind of camp.
So we're doing a photo shoot for this. And
I am.
She, of course, is being like sexy, and I'm like not, I can't do sexy. So I was just like being like kind of like silly faces. And I was so excited because Romy and Michelle are kind of awkward.
Yeah, they so are.
And so like I was excited to do like awkward smiles and like awkward faces. And you were like, I'm just going to be pretty. I was like, I'm just going to do not awkward. I'm like, you're so funny though. Like, you're so good at awkward. You said you wanted to do
ugly faces. And I was like, I already look crazy. I had to like really.
You look so pretty.
I always am conscious of my face. So I'm like, I don't need to like look uglier. You know what I mean? I just try and
oh my God. No, you're so pretty. You look so gorgeous.
Again, I think that's like you can get away with it. It's just like the burping and all stuff. You can get away with it because you're traditionally that beautiful and that tiny, you know.
This is so weird. Oh my Jesus. Sorry. This is so weird. Like, and I feel so bad for Trish. I feel so bad for Trisha. She is so... I don't want to say she's insecure around Colleen, because that's mean, and I don't mean it to be mean, because I feel bad for her. I just think that this is so toxic for Trisha. All we've really heard Trisha say is, like, putting herself down.
opposite of you, where I'm like, I'm gonna say I'm ugly before everyone else tells me it.
That's so
So
crazy.
I'd rather just be like, yeah, I'm ugly and gross, because then when people say it, I'm like, yeah, I agree.
But you're
We're
like
on
the
same page.
classic, like that. You're what society is beautiful. You know, you are beautiful.
It's
but
crazy
you
to
are.
me. No.
Okay, Colleen is not helping this at all.
You are. You have everything perfect. And so that's why I'm like, okay, you can be like, and it's funny when like the pretty girl is like funny and quirky and ugly.
I think that's not true. I think the pretty girl can't be funny.
No,
I think if someone's super pretty, then I don't think that personally. Oh my God, don't take that out of context. No, I think there's plenty of gorgeous women who are hilarious. But like,
you're Cameron Diaz, where she's like a model, but she's like goofy and quirky. And you're like, oh yeah.
This is the reason Colleen's coming back to this podcast, by the way. There's
a lot of people who won't agree with you, but I will say.
So you agree? You think you're really pretty?
That I think that when girls are really pretty, they have to work harder to prove that they're funny. And I don't think that about myself. I'm saying that like typically when you see a really pretty girl, like I think a lot of people have this stigma of like, well, she's not going to be funny. Like she is the pretty face.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like when pretty girls try to be funny, sometimes you're like, okay, like or it just doesn't. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You have to go a little harder.
There's like the pretty privilege thing that people talk about, where it's like you can
1,000% that.
You know, no, I think pretty girls are very funny. I hope no one thought I meant that. I think society has thought of that. My God. But anyway, I feel like it's harder to like. For me, I feel like I don't think that I'm like this hideous.
She needs to stop saying like blanket statements and then just leaving it and then being like, oh, take that out of context. Why would you be saying that to your audience who apparently only gave you positive feedback?
Or it just doesn't.
Right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You have to go a little harder.
There's like the pretty privilege thing that people talk about, where it's like you can
1,000% that.
You know, no, I think pretty girls are very funny. I hope no one thought I meant that. I think society has thought of that.
Why would you be acting like this if apparently the response was so incredible to your podcast?
My God. But anyway, I feel like it's harder to, like, for me, I feel like I don't think that I'm like this hideous monster or something. And
Right.
But I don't think I'm like the hot girl. Like, I'm like that. I'm just
really?
like I'm just like the brunette girl. You know, I'm just
That's
like,
so
I'm a
crazy.
girl. Like, I feel like I'm just like, that looks like a girl.
I feel like every time we've done this podcast, you've had a blonde wig. So I think if it was like this blonde bombshell, like Megan Helty, like smash Marilyn Monroe, like that's how I
know
think.
Beyonce's Pretty Hurts is stuck in everyone's head. Or
I
is it
love
just
Pretty
me?
Hurts by Beyonce. That's such a beautiful song.
Of you, and I think of you like that anyways now. I think of you as like I keep saying Elle Woods and stuff like that. I don't know
That's
why.
how I think
and I
of
guess
you
you are
for
brunette.
sure.
I don't know,
no,
but
I'm very brunette.
that's so funny.
I'm like
but
just
I don't see that.
I'm like the most like classic brunette girl. Like I'm the friend.
Yeah, you have the bangs and the braids.
Like I'm just like the friend of the girl.
The bangs are always, you always do bangs. You love the bangs.
No, okay,
You're
well-
the only one who does bangs, and I love it, first of all.
Okay, no one likes the bangs, but I've done bangs 3 times now in my life.
Why do you love them?
I will tell you why.
Okay.
Trisha goes, why do you like them on you?
Because I hate my forehead, and it hides my forehead.
Wait, what do you hate about it?
I have a big forehead. I've always been big.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of size comparison, you know,
Mine's
Moses is
bigger than
laughing
yours.
because I have the biggest one.
What?
He's saying no.
Moses.
I have a
My
huge
forehead is way bigger than yours.
Moses saying Trisha's forehead's bigger. Oh, what a dreamy man.
First of all, yes, it is.
I have the biggest forehead. It's like actually a
What are you
problem.
talking about? I've never thought that
And my
about you.
hair's pulled back today, so like Moses is agreeing, and he'll
Like yeah,
always
my
have.
hair being pulled back is like okay when I did. Oh my God, this is not a name drop. This is just like legit. I remember like one of the most embarrassed I've ever been about. Like I always want bangs, or even like I was so mortified when the middle part came back. This is how when we went away from the side part, because the side part kind of hid some of my forehead, and we went to the middle part, and I was like, oh no, everyone's gonna see my big old forehead. And then but when I did Ariana's music video, the Thank You Next music video, I was super pregnant, but they pulled my hair back, and they pulled it back tight, like slick back, and I was like, oh my God, so many people are gonna see this, and everyone's like gonna see how big and gross my forehead is. Like I was so, and of course no one was looking at me because they're looking at the Queen Ariana.
No,
but
but
also
of
I was
course.
extremely pregnant, so even if they were looking at me, they're not looking at my forehead.
I think people were looking because you were pregnant for sure. You were
well,
the
yeah, but
pregnant
they're not looking
cheerleader.
at my freaking forehead. Is my point.
I've never looked at your forehead, and I
Oh
was
my God,
just so
I hate my
honest
forehead.
with
It's
you.
one of my biggest insecurities. My forehead and my nose. Like I hate them so much.
What?
But, yeah, oh
And
yeah.
your nose
I
is
hate
so
my
tiny
nose.
too. What do you hate about your?
Oh my God. Is this entire thing Colleen being like, I hate this, and then Trisha saying, oh no, but I love it, and I feel awful about myself because you hate it? Is that what this is gonna be? Is that what this is gonna be? I can't do this. I can't do this.
nose.
I'm gonna vomit.
It's literally so straight, so narrow.
What? My nose. You said you're.
What is this? What is this?
No. Okay.
Oh
first
my
one,
gosh.
I've always been made fun
I
of
think
my
you have
nose.
dysmorphia for real, because you really don't.
You
Wait,
have
but
dysmorphia
what?
for me.
Yeah.
Like, no, for being such a big ugly nose. Like always. Yeah. I've been made fun of for this my whole life.
That is the craziest thing. Did you get a
What?
nose job?
No.
This is your natural nose,
Yeah,
and
this
people
is
make
my
fun of this nose.
Yes.
It's so I've never looked at your nose and been like, "Why you have a big nose?"
Well, thank you. Sure,
That's
whatever. Nothing.
crazy.
Big noses are beautiful too.
No, I know.
I'm just saying it's my.
This is such a toxic dynamic, the way they're forcing reassurance and validation onto each
Because
other.
I've made
Trigger
fun-
warning. I know that's
but-
what I'm saying. When people talk about stuff, and then someone else with a bigger nose will be like, "Oh my god, my nose is huge," even though you don't mean it that way, but it just happens.
Yeah, I don't like my forehead. So like bangs hide that, and also like I have a lot of wrinkles, which there's nothing wrong with wrinkles. Wrinkles are beautiful, but you know, sometimes I feel insecure about that because I've been taught that that's not okay, and so like I just feel a little bit more secure when I can hide my face. So I want as much hair covering my face as possible.
That's so interesting. But you don't. Okay, so interesting. So we were talking about this earlier, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But we were talking about how plastic surgery and stuff like that. You said you're self-conscious about wrinkles, but you don't get Botox. So it's like, is it like a stance thing, or is it like you don't want to get
it's
it?
not
Or
a stance. No. I think if people want to get stuff done, they should. Like I think it's all awesome. Like whatever will make you feel the most confident and beautiful version of you. Like I think that's an individual choice, and like I am so supportive of it. I think like go for it. But what I don't like is what society has taught us, for girls specifically, that you need to look young to be pretty. I think that women in general are told that as they age, you know, oh, she's, you know, an old hag, or she's gone off, oh, she's looking old. She needs to get work done. Like, oh my God, look how old she looks. Like people talk about that when girls age. Like people say it about me all the time, that I'm not aging well and like I look old or whatever.
Which is like crazy.
It is what it is. But I just don't think it should be
a thing.
a diss. Like it's like, so you're angry at facts. You're angry that like people get older when they get old. Like what are you talking about? Like it's such a weird, annoying thing to me.
It's so annoying and it's so bizarre
and sexist because it doesn't really happen to men. But
it never happens to men. Men are always like, you know, they're glorified forever. But it's like, it is interesting because one, like, obviously aging is a blessing. People who don't get to make it to 35 or 40, like it's so tragic and so sad.
Well, and with age comes wisdom, knowledge, experience,
stability of mind, and find everything. But now I feel like we are in the era of like older people, old people, I don't know, old people like making this comeback, because I was telling you, we watch Only Murders in the Building, Steve Martin 77, Martin Short 73, but then
I love that Selena Gomez show.
The women too. Meryl Streep was on the 3rd season. Jennifer Coolidge obviously made her big comeback, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. Like, and Jennifer, we talked about this last night because I love her, but that they're kind of making a comeback now. That it's like kind of cool to be like older. Like I feel like Desperate Housewives. I love that show. I wish they'd do a reboot where they're all like in their 40s and they're like sexy and hot. So I kind of like that we're coming around with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't watch that show, so maybe they're like drama, but they
love Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
look beautiful. I'm like, they're
I'm on
15,
season
they look
5.
good. Erica Jane has her own show in Vegas, so it like gives me inspiration that like, okay, you can still make it at 50 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, of course you can, and I hope that like it shifts, but it doesn't seem to be shifting as far as people hating women for getting older. It's like, it's very annoying to me. And then when women get a bunch of work done because everyone tells them they need to get a bunch of work done, then, oh, they got too much work done, they look crazy, they look insane, like whatever. I don't like that. I don't like that there's so much talk about women's image and looks in the industry as opposed to like them as human beings. Because like even for me, like,
didn't you just spend the entire topic before this talking about big girls and small girls?
when you asked why I don't get it done. It's because Miranda, I like to have like the elastic face. Like I like to be able to make all the weird expressions, and who knows how long I'll do Miranda, but I really love it. And so like, as long as I'm doing it,
How long will you do it? Do you think you'll ever stop retire? You retired for a minute. You like stopped doing it for like a year or something?
I stopped. It's just like I wasn't inspired really to like.
She stopped doing it for a minute whenever me and her fell out. Because who gave her all the ideas for Miranda? Anyone want to put 2 and 2 together?
Make Miranda videos but I'm on tour right now and I'm making Miranda videos and I love the character. I think it's really fun, and I do think it's
this is a long
funny
podcast.
to me, and I know it's a very specific type of humor that a very niche type of person likes, but I think it's really fun. I really enjoy doing it, and so I'll do it as long as people want to see it, and as long as I'm enjoying it. But I think getting Botox and stopping my forehead and face from being able to do all the weird faces I do, like,
that makes sense.
I enjoy that. But also, like, I do think it's important to show that, like, both are beautiful. Like, getting all the Botox and the filler and getting a little bit or doing whatever you want to your face is your...
She talks so patronizing about everything, and then we'll be like, but everything anyone wants to do is beautiful. She just comes across so patronizing. I'm also speeding this up. 1.25.
Decision that can be beautiful. And you can look a killer, you can look amazing. And also not doing those things can be beautiful too. So part of me, it's not a stance, but it's like, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool that like I can say like I haven't, so that I can show people that like it's okay to not. Because in the Hollywood industry, I don't know about the rest of the world or country, but like in the Hollywood industry, it's very, I do feel a lot of pressure to do it. Not that people are telling me to, but just because everybody gets it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So you look weird when you don't get it. It's like oh, you have wrinkles on your forehead.
Right, I literally don't have, I don't think I have a friend who's in the industry who hasn't had something done.
We talked about this morning, everyone has it.
Literally everybody. And so it's, it is weird that I haven't. And so I'm like, oh, it's, you know, maybe it's a good representation for people to see that like, you don't have to have that to just exist. So
no,
like,
it's good.
you know, so it's not that it's like, and maybe I will someday. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll get Botox someday or filler or something. Who knows? But like right now I don't. But anyway,
what a wishy-washy answer.
I guess I'm kind of a hypocrite because I'm like, I want to show that like this can be beautiful, but then at the same time I'm like, ew, I hate it when we cover it with bangs.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of hypocritical, but it's like, I'm trying to like, embrace it, but also like, it's hard to learn to love something that society's told you to hate for over 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but it changes. It changes, like you said, people pressure. And I know like in the early 2000s when I got like my boob job, everyone had fake boobs. So if you didn't have it, you looked weird. Like my boobs looked literally floppy. I was like, I need to get them. And then now it's like out now. Everyone's getting theirs removed. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have gotten mine because it hurts and they leak and all this stuff like that.
They leak? What do you mean?
They leak. I think I'm not diagnosed with myself, but like I've looked up the symptoms. It's like you can get this breast implant illness. I think it's what it's called.
I've heard of this.
Yeah,
my friend had it actually and she had to get hers taken out.
I think literally everybody after like 10 years, they just start to leak. My mom just got hers fixed because hers literally was leaking inside.
She has to get it redone every 10 years, right?
Yeah, she just got hers done because she had a leak in it. She just got hers done literally weeks ago.
When was the last time you had yours?
It's 10 years. It's 10
so
years.
You need to get it done.
Yes, and I feel weaker. I feel sick. I feel tired all the time, and I'm just like, and I was supposed to get it done before I got pregnant with Malibu. I didn't think I was get pregnant so quickly with her, so I need to get it done at some point because it's called breast implant illness, and it can like literally like it makes you sick over time.
Yeah, I have a friend who got super sick from it, and she said once she got
that's so terrifying. Like that is so terrifying. Just like a side comment, like in something that is so like people aren't educated about that.
Hers taken out, she was like, oh my God, it was the weirdest thing. I felt like I didn't even realize how much it was affecting me until they were gone. And then once they took them out, I was like, is this what breathing feels like? Like she realized she hadn't taken a deep breath in 10 years.
Because it's literally objects like these foreign objects in your body, which again, I would just get mine replaced. There's no way I wouldn't go without them because my boobs are crazy and whatever. I'm self-conscious about it. But it is one of those things where everyone felt pressured, or BBLs or big lips, and now everyone's getting their lips dissolved because everyone needed lip injections. Now everyone's dissolving their lips. And mine literally don't go down. Like I've got to try to get them dissolved. Like mine do not go down. They're just stay this way forever. I haven't gotten them done in years. And I wish I could go back when I see myself young with like the thinner lips. And I kind of wish I did that. But it was such a trend. I don't hate my lips now. I'm like, I think I would rather have them a little big.
Are still in. I don't
see them dissolved. I see them. I don't know. It's always a thing. And like, BBLs are, everything is out and then it's in. And
yeah.
Just,
Well, that's...
So is it not hypocritical for these women to be like, I hate when people talk about bodies, like everyone's beautiful, and they're now saying that things that people have is out and in? I thought body parts weren't a trend, but you're now talking about them as if they are. You're saying big lips are out, BBLs are out. How can you comment on bodies and call bodies a trend and all like this and then say that people shouldn't be commenting on bodies? You're both hypocrites.
And that's what I was trying to say earlier. I was like, whatever people say is like in, like if skinniness is in, well, in 10 years it won't be. Like, it's like, so what is beautiful? Because like
it changes
constantly.
So
like what you think is gross right now, like will be beautiful in 5 years. Anyway,
it's true. I think like one of my favorite people is Pamela Anderson. She's so tiny. But I love Ashley Graham too. Like I saw her on the red carpet for interviewing Hugh Grant. And I was like, I love her body too. I like that there's representation for all types that can be like beautiful. Pamela Anderson. She was in Chicago.
Who?
Pamela Anderson.
She was. Yeah, she was. I saw her documentary. Oh my God. It was so good. I love her.
So good. I was like, wow.
Love her. She's been through so much. People just... Oh, man, people are so awful to her.
I know. I think it's like, thank God people are seeing it while they're alive. I always feel like when people die, then they're just like, oh, people were so awful to her. Like I think like Anna Nicole, they just did a documentary about her, which was horrible, by the way. They literally just made her look like this like drug addict, like this awful person. But they were so mean to her in death and now, or in life, and then after death, now everyone's like, oh, we miss her. She was so great. I mean, people were so mean to her and so cruel. And it's like, same with Pam. She got like Britney too. Everyone's like so mean. Even her own fans are like so mean to her right now and stuff. And I'm just like, it takes them either dying or like, luckily Pam, we could see it while she's alive and people are giving her.
You think Britney's fans are mean to her right now? I mean, we don't need to get into that, but like,
well,
I see them like trying to like,
I think it's like the speculation of it because I'm such a fan. I go back and forth because they speculate.
Wasn't she pro-conservatorship at a certain time as well? Like she was saying that she would be on Britney Spears' side if it meant that she could fake a friendship with Britney. All of this is so fake.
Well, everyone thinks it's all these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I've seen all the conspiracy theories.
So I like, is that helping her or hurting her? Because if she is okay and it's fine, then it's annoying to hear like Sam's using her and everyone's this conspiracy. And if she's not okay and she's trying to get help, people like speculating, bringing more attention to it, like doesn't help either. I don't know. I'm such torn with it.
I feel like I love Britney Spears, and I don't know, I don't know what's going on. I just hope she's okay. But like, I think that's probably where it comes from. Is like if people are truly her fans, like I would hope that it's coming from a place of like wanting to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
But then
like,
at what point does it get to be like if everyone's just like, oh, Moses is covering for Trisha and stuff like that? You know, what if he's just genuinely there for her? I don't know. It is weird.
Moses is covering for Trisha? Why did she just bring Britney Spears' conservatorship back to her? Can you hear Milo?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I see what you're saying.
I just love her. I just love her so much, but people analyzing every little thing, and then she has to go on Instagram and be like, "Stop being annoying and stop doing this." And like, I don't know.
I know, but it does seem. I'm not trying to. We're not the type to like get into like pop culture or whatever. Like because I do think this is like a real person, like and who's like real feelings and going through whatever. But I do feel like
I'm obsessed with her being like, we're not the kind of people to comment on her. She's a real person, but, and then starts talking about her.
It all does seem, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but like it does seem a little fishy. Something's off, and I just hope she's okay. So.
Right, if she's going through something. I know. I have the biggest parasocial relationship with Britney of anyone. I really I literally when she announced she was pregnant and she sadly miscarried, but she announced she was pregnant around the same time I like literally DM'd her and I was like, hey, if you need a friend, here's a doctor that I go to. Like I was literally trying to be her friend. Like I have such a parasocial relationship with her where it's like I wouldn't even want to like film with her or anything like that. I just like want to like, but everyone feels that way.
But Trisha's fans acting like this towards her, then they're stalkers and she needs to call the police on them and tell her security guards.
Because it's Britney and she's very relatable and stuff. But I love her and I think about her daily, which is like so weird. And I don't think about that with anyone else. I don't think that's weird.
I mean, she's iconic. Like she's everything. She's like the biggest pop star of her time.
And she's also so real.
Well, I love Britney. Justice for Britney, whatever's going on. I hope she's okay. Like, I just hope she's okay because she's like just done so many wonderful things for so many people. And like me included. Like, oh my God, the amount of times I cried to Lucky.
I didn't know you were a Britney stan either. This is so weird to me. I don't know.
Nice 2000s girly. Like, hello. Yeah. She was like the queen to me.
Yeah, Lucky was iconic. And
Lucky. Well, I remember just sobbing to that song.
Yeah, it's relatable because you think like, oh yeah, why do these tears?
Oh, and the like
that's the one she wrote. She's so good.
That one I learned to play it on the piano. I played in the choir room and I was like, oh my God, I'm so dramatic.
She plays it on the piano too. Britney's so good at it. Oh, that's one of my favorite of all time.
I love her. But I just hope she's okay. I don't know. Who knows what's going on, but like, I love her. Anyway.
We love her. Yeah, so we have to talk about high school. I know, it's our final stretch.
Wait, we're talking about Romeo and Michelle. So we're going to premiere the video, like, separate from this video. But we did do a music video.
It's so good.
Yeah, of course she got a singing moment in. Please. Why wouldn't she? You're getting a show. You're getting a performance.
So fun.
Oh, we haven't really seen the footage fully, but
she's like, it's amazing.
It was so much fun.
I was too much. I was like, we have to try again. Like,
it was so good. Corey was the star though because honestly, he held his weight so good because like that, and not to go back to Alan Cummings because we already talked about him, but like at the beginning, I was like, is he really dancing? Because he's holding his weight so good. He's like falling so gracefully. I always want to know that.
Who, Alan Cummings?
Yeah, should we have him on the podcast? Who's our dream guest?
Oh my God.
This is now just copying Frenemies. Didn't we have this entire segment where Trisha at the start of Frenemies was like, let's have this person on. Then Ethan was like, yes. Trisha was like, let's have this person on. Yes. Let's have this person. Yes. Girl, now we're just rehashing Frenemies. Adam, babe, how the fuck are you not knocked out beyond and immediately went back to this? Let me tell you something. It's 5 a.m., which means that I woke up this time yesterday. And I've been to London, a Beyonce concert, and back. My eyes are almost closed. I'm so tired. I'm starting to feel sick.
Odd. Anyone.
So your top 3.
Or maybe I'm just nauseous from this, actually. Sorry, hearing Colleen go, every time I try to fly, I fall, just knocked me out a little bit further.
And then we'll get him.
Well, okay, here's the deal. Anyone who comes on this podcast has to dress up with us.
1,000%.
But dream guests, I literally would, anyone. You mean like my favorite celebrities?
Yeah, that you want to like
interview. Oh my God, there's so many people. You go first because I have to think about it.
Okay, it's hard. It's hard.
Trisha, you go first, and Colleen will have a personal experience with every single one you mention.
In my head.
Jennifer Coolidge for sure.
Oh, Jennifer Coolidge would be.
How the fuck did Colleen go? You go first. And before Trisha even answers, Colleen answers.
I love her too. She would be great.
And I really want to dress up like Jennifer Coolidge and Jane Lynch's character in Best in Show. Do you know
I've
the
never
lesbian?
seen it.
What the heck?
Wait,
Trisha,
really?
are you serious?
Jane Lynch.
You've never heard Jennifer Coolidge being like, we could talk or not talk for hours and still find things to not. I'm not doing an impression.
No.
And still not find things to not talk about. We both love soup. You've never heard these Jennifer Coolidge?
Oh my God. I love her. I've seen her
Never heard
everything.
Oh my God, she's so
Is she
funny.
younger or is she older?
She's like,
is it the 90s?
It's the 90s or 2000s. Like, I mean, Best in Show was a while ago. It was like
I've never heard of this.
Oh my God, it is one of my favorite movies. I love Christopher Guest makes wonderful. My favorite movie of all time is one of his movies. But
Christopher Guest, is he Home Alone guy?
No, wait, Home Alone guy.
Did he direct Home Alone?
Macaulay Culkin? What are you thinking of? What are you talking about?
Is he a director or actor?
He does all of it. But he's an actor. He's a comedian. He writes. So like, wait, have you seen Waiting for Guffman? No. I'm leaving.
Oh wait, how do you see all these movies? You say you haven't seen any movies.
No, okay, but because they're like mockumentaries. So they're comedies. They're making fun of documentaries. So it's like Best in Show is about like dog shows where they show pretty dogs, you know?
Yeah.
And about the people who would do dog shows. So they're like, it's so funny. And Waiting for Guffman's about
a dog show, girl. That wig on your head could enter.
theater.
Is it about a documentary about theater?
It's a mockumentary, so it's making fun of, but it's like...
What's with all these mockumentaries? I didn't know there were so many.
What are you talking about? It's like The Office. You know, like The Office is like a mockumentary. It's like it's a pretend documentary.
The only one I've seen is like Drop Dead Gorgeous, the one with Kirstie Alley and Kirsten Dunst.
I've never seen that.
That's a mockumentary about beauty pageants.
I haven't seen
and
that
the girl
one.
Denise Richards blows up. Oh my God, that's...
I have to watch that.
Okay.
Yeah, I love mockumentaries. That's my favorite type of comedy.
Okay, we'll have to watch
that. Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't seen Best in Show.
I have to watch it with Jennifer Coolidge.
I don't know if it'd even be your type of comedy though, because like I feel like I really like awkward,
monkey covering eyes emoji.
Weird, uncomfortable humor.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes, I feel like you would hate that.
Yeah, I actually kind of...
Tumbleweave.
I hate Napoleon Dynamite.
Because I feel like you would, like, I'm just going to say, I feel like you would hate Miranda Sings. Like, I feel like that is not your
I've never gotten to the videos, but
We were having a conversation about Jennifer Coolidge. Why has she brought it back to Miranda fucking Sings? Finally, we were having a conversation about another celebrity. Now we're bringing it back to Colleen. Nice.
Loved the show. I told you that.
Well, I'm not offended by you not liking it.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. It was not that I didn't like it. I just never like that. I never watched it because I always thought it was for kids. Like I thought of it like a mystery. I don't know, but like
no, not at all.
But like, the TV show was so risque and so dark. And I was just like, I loved even the second season even better. That was the one when it was Annie, right? When you guys put on Annie, like
Annie's season 1.
Oh,
but wait, is it? Yeah, it's season 1. Season 2. I don't even remember.
Season 2 ends with you and there. I love it. No, I love it. And that's the thing how we became friends. I think I put out a video and we weren't even friends at the time. Like I didn't know you at all. I don't even think we met.
Yeah, you said you liked.
I loved it. I was like, this is actually so good because at the time so many YouTubers were trying to go like mainstream and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I was just expecting to like none of it be good.
I have a story about what Colleen said about Trisha during that time, but I'm not gonna say it.
And it was so good. And
I remember that being.
The only reason I'm not gonna say it is because I'm pretty sure this video is already like 2 hours long. Nobody's watching this far. I may as well not throw my little bombs out 2 hours in.
Such a big compliment to me because you literally say in your video, you're like, I don't really like Miranda Sings, like it's not my thing, like, and so I didn't have high expectations, and I got really like, that was like the nicest compliment to me.
Moses watched it before. He's like, yeah, I watched it. I was like, you did? He's like, I didn't know Colleen. I didn't know anything. I just like watched it because he watched everything on Netflix years ago when it first came out. I was like, that's so funny. It was huge. It was like a huge show. And people, the one thing I was gonna say is people compare it to Napoleon Dynamite, and I'm like, I hate Napoleon Dynamite, but I like love that. So to me, it wasn't the same humor.
I love.
I guess it would be if you like awkward humor.
I love awkward humor. I love painfully awkward. I like because that's life. Like life.
Awkward humor or awkward?
Is awkward in life is I love showing and watching things that seem like real life. Like in real life, there are awkward silences. Right. And like, you know, there's awkward moments in real life, and you don't see that on most TV and movies because like that's not interesting. You got to keep the conversation.
I can't believe this conversation has stemmed from Trisha saying she wants Jennifer Coolidge on the podcast, and Colleen brought it back to yours.
Going whatever. Yeah. And so to me, I don't like awkward silence in my life because it makes me uncomfortable.
I was gonna say in my real life there's no awkward because I just talk.
Yeah, me too. That's why we both like we never shut up. Like if there was a silent moment, one of us would be like, so anyway,
I hate it. I'm always talking.
I'm the same way. But like in film and movies and in stuff that I've created, I'm like, I don't want, like, I remember with Netflix having conversations going back and forth, being like, they'd be like, we want score, we want music under this scene. I'd be like, no, I like the silence because you can feel how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah.
And like, you know, who knows if that was a bad choice or not, but like, I just love feeling like, I think I like when shows and TV and movies make me feel deeply. And I like that, like, it has the possibility to make me feel awkward or uncomfortable.
I can't believe she's just talking about herself having a Netflix show again. Trisha, grow some balls and tell her that the show got canceled or something. Seriously. Give us a little bit of entertainment here.
Like,
oh, you want to feel awkward?
No, it's not that I want to. I get excited when shows and movies and projects, whatever, make me feel deeply in any way.
I get
sad, happy, excited, awkward, intense, like whatever. And
yeah, I did watch. So the show.
I think that's why I like awkward comedy because it feels like real life. Like that's like real. That's how life. The funniest things to me are like awkward moments.
Yeah. I guess I just feel awkward watching an awkward movie. I'm just like Napoleon Dynamite. I'm just like, oh, it's like awkward.
Oh, I like Napoleon Dynamite a lot.
I get it. It was huge. It was such a big thing. But there was someone named Trisha that had a mustache in there, and like in high school, people made fun of me because I had a mustache. I'm like, oh my god, I like Trisha from Napoleon Dynamite.
What? Wait, who is?
There was someone who shaded a mustache in a drawing. I don't know this movie at all, but.
Oh, yes.
Her name is Trisha. I don't know. That's all I know.
Wait, what were we just talking about?
High school.
Who would want to be guests?
Oh, yeah.
Alan Cumming.
Who else did you
Yes, that was what we were talking about before you brought it to your Netflix show for absolutely no reason.
Well, that was it. That's all you want?
Maybe Joshua Robert Cooley, he commented on our post. Oh my God, he's one of my favorite Broadway actors. He's in The New Descendants. I love him. He performed at 54 Below. I think we talked about it before. No, he was a really young kid on Broadway. He was in like Les Mis. He was in, oh God, he's been in so many things. He would have been a great Evan Hansen.
We were talking about him?
I think I might have told you about him before.
I need to see his face. I'm sure I've known him.
He did I was talking about the Broadway where they do gender swaps, he did the Schuyler sisters at one of those, and he was so good. I don't know. He's a really good Broadway actor.
I'm sure I know him myself. I'm just so bad at
names. He's like a young kid Broadway actor. He's so good. He was with Gatton Mazzarazzo in Les Mis. They like switched the parts, he was really good, and I love him. And he's a big so whenever Broadway. Oh, and the other one we didn't know, but I love her. She's a Broadway actor. She was Paulette in Legally Blonde.
I'm proud of Trisha. She's got a couple sentences in here. Good for you, Trish.
Or Faye. I think
hold the fort down.
So excited. I was we have to do that singing one. That singing.
Yeah, I put it as a list. I was like, should we do it on the podcast or should we do it on?
Yeah, we could do.
We could do either. I copyright, but like
happy for Trisha getting a name drop in. Look at that. She bounces back. She knows what she's doing.
Will it be copyright if we sing like 2 seconds?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Also, they might not know. Yeah, we can do it. I don't know if it's next time. Maybe for the vlog.
We'll do it later. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It never gets any views, those, but I love to do them, and I continue to do them even though those
I will do it. I want to do it.
They're so fun.
I feel like there's musicals I wouldn't know the words to that you would. I feel like you could beat me in.
They're pretty mainstream musicals. I feel when they get like niche musicals, I'm like, okay. Because I do love theater, but I'm not like, what do you call it? Like a theater nerd where I know like the intricate ones that no one's ever heard of. Yeah, I wish I knew. I just don't know.
See, I feel like I'd be the opposite where I'd know like all the words to the Sondheim ones or something. You know, you'd know like I wouldn't be able to sing. I know Wicked. I wouldn't.
You know Wicked.
Can
we do the whole Wicked when we do our album? We could just do the whole entire show.
Hold on. This is what we're doing. Yeah, we're gonna dress up like we're gonna do Wicked eventually.
We have to think
and we'll do the podcast, but then we'll turn off the podcast. We'll push record again, and we'll just turn on the Wicked soundtrack.
Okay.
And we'll just sing.
Do the whole thing.
The whole thing.
I know every single bit.
I'm not kidding. I would do that.
Yeah.
We will sing it. Girl, there's gonna be one mic, and you're gonna be hogging it.
I will do. That's like my dream.
I literally would do that.
I feel like I have done that. I think I used to do Broadway musicals in 5 minutes. I used to do like Wicked in 5 minutes, but it was like a 45-minute video, and I did like the whole thing through.
So it'd be in 5 minutes, but you do it in 45 minutes.
Yeah. I'd be like Wicked in 5 minutes. I'm sure it still happened. I was dressed as like I painted my face green, and I did the whole thing, and
oh my God.
Yeah, I just loved it. Again, I always thought people would like see me. I'm like, maybe Wicked will see me. They don't do stunt casting, and so they definitely want to have me, but they have very.
Wicked don't do stunt casting, but Waitress do. Isn't that right, Colleen?
Oh my God, yeah, they do.
I'm surprised they never asked you because you said Broadway has reached out to you, like other than stunt casting, like other shows have reached out to you.
Well, not to be in them, to see like if I was interested in audition.
Did Trisha just make a jab at Colleen being a stunt cast? See, Trisha has her moments.
Thing for them, like
that's big though.
No one's like reached out to me to be like, please be in this Broadway show. Like I was.
Has Wicked asked you to audition ever?
I've auditioned for Wicked. Yeah, when I lived in New York. It was a long time ago.
Before social media.
No, it was after Miranda started getting popular or whatever, but they didn't ask me to. Like, I went in. Like, I was auditioning like crazy when I lived in New York City.
Oh, for Broadway?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I auditioned constantly.
Wow. And you never did a Broadway show before Waitress?
Thank
that was
you,
your first?
Parps.
Yeah, Waitress was my first. Yeah.
I am shocked. I'm so shocked.
I did an off-Broadway show.
What was it?
It was Odyssey.
Oh.
But it was like off
Like,
Broadway.
what was the scene?
I don't know. I guess it was considered off-Broadway, but I was like, I don't know
but
what it was.
It's in New York City. It's off-Broadway.
I guess, but it was fun. I was Circe, or I don't even remember. I had this song called Animal Instincts.
How's it
and
go?
I was like supposed to be sexy.
Oh, okay, so you got sexy roles. You don't say I'm not sexy. I'm not doing whatever.
Like, how does it go? I don't remember. I was like, I'm so annoying.
I love
Never talk to me again. I just did that. I literally just go, I don't remember how it goes, like I literally just did the most annoying thing anyone's ever done.
I love it.
I can't believe I just did that. I never want to be seen again.
I said to sing it.
Please just block this half the screen for the rest of the podcast. I don't deserve to be alive. That was crazy what I just did.
I love it.
That was crazy. Who's like, I don't even know what it is.
But that's good. No,
like I literally just like that was so.
That would be a funny moment of like self-realization if she didn't do it multiple times in the podcast already, including like 10 minutes ago, for context.
You better when you say I have like a defense thing where it's like this is going nowhere, whatever. You're very just that person to prepare in case it doesn't come out right, and then you're like,
well,
whatever.
No, my mind went like, oh, I don't remember it, and then it immediately remembered it, and so then I started singing it. So I was like, I don't remember it, and then I literally remembered the one.
I love it. Let's
lyric.
hear it.
Oh my God, no, I never want to sing it because that was so embarrassing what I just did. That is a meme. That is like someone going like, don't make me sing, and then singing like that was so gross. Like I can't believe you just did that.
You didn't do SNL, did you? Did you ever?
No.
Oh, why did I
got asked to audition for SNL, and I said no.
Oh, what? Why are you saying no to things?
Because I'm just.
Trisha, let's talk about SNL. Colleen, I was actually asked to audition. The S in SNL actually stood for sings. Miranda sings.
Scared. But SNL, I was I was right at the beginning of my career. I mean, the beginning, like right when Miranda first went viral. I had just got I went to New York City, and I got a manager right away, who came and saw me at an open mic night, and he was like, hey, I want to work with you. And I think he was trying to impress me. So I don't know if they actually asked or if he just was lying to me or what. But he was like, hey, SNL wants you to audition for them, which I think that had to have been a lie. There's no way they knew who I was. And I was like, he's like, do you have other characters? Like they went, like they had.
Oh, you did character work. So like, if you're doing shows in New York, that would make sense. I think they did ask people. I think they do. There was a guy on TikTok that made an audition tape for.
Okay, so she doesn't believe it. But why are you bringing it up then?
for SNL, and it went viral because people were making fun of him, but I thought it was pretty good. And he just disappeared
I remember
TikTok.
that. Yeah,
he hasn't made a TikTok since. I'm like, where did that guy go?
Well, they asked me, and I said no, and my manager was like, please. And then he called me again the next day. He's like, please, they want to see, like, just make one. I was like, no, I'm too scared. I can't.
What?
I was too scared. I was like, that's embarrassing.
That's so weird for you, because you're such a go-getter. I would just try it. Like, I would just do it.
In some ways, I'm a go-getter, but in other ways, I'm too scared. Like, sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm not. Because to me, I was like, oh my God, like, it's one thing to be a go-getter, to be like, I'll book my own show, and then, like, people who watch my videos will come, and, like, yeah, let's do that. But it's another thing to be like, I'm gonna put myself on tape for, like, the people at SNL to watch, because in my head, my mind immediately goes, like, oh, they're gonna watch and be like, what made this girl think she's good enough?
What?
Like, that's what I think they would think.
That's crazy. I would just take the opportunity, because I just be like, when are you gonna get it again? Did you ever get it again? Did they ever ask you again? Was it your one
I don't
shot?
think so. Yeah, I think, but like, it wasn't something like I've never seen myself on SNL, and it's not to say like that's not like the most incredible opportunity ever it is, and people I'm sure will be so mad at me that like
it's not your goal.
But it's not that it's just like I couldn't see myself doing. I don't think I'm talented enough for that. I don't think that's my wheelhouse. Like, I'm not those people are so talented.
They do like impersonations. They're very specific comedy.
She was hoping Trisha was going to say you are talented enough to do it, but I think Trisha's compliments have ran out for this episode. Anyone catch that? She was fishing for compliments there.
Like,
but Trisha didn't give them.
Impersonations, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So like,
you could host it. You could just be a host, like a guest host. Go an episode.
Oh, Trisha goes, okay, then you can, sweep the floors.
If I ever got super duper crazy famous, which I don't foresee, but
first of all, you've been there, you're up there.
If I ever get super famous, which I'll never get, and then Trisha has to be like, no, you've been there.
Never got to the level of that. You were on like all these shows, like that.
Oh my fucking God. Is all this just like blowing smoke up, like it fishing?
I was never SNL famous.
No, you
girl.
so were.
Yeah, that's not true. You do have dysmorphia for me in general.
No, you for sure have definitely been the most. I'm not just saying this either, because I've known so many people who try to get Netflix shows, so many like
Colleen
huge
spent
YouTubers.
so long of this fishing for comments.
Like the biggest ones, and they've gotten like rejected from Netflix, and you've had 1, 2 comedy special, like all that stuff like that. So you definitely have. I think you have dysmorphia about it because you were mainstream. You did Broadway, you did that. Yeah, I think that classifies. And if you get more than one season, some YouTubers get TV shows and it doesn't last like a season, which is more than I got. So like good for you. But I think like if you get second seasons, comedy special, all that stuff, it's mainstream.
Well, I feel like it happened all, and I've loved it. But
you should have done SNL for Haters Back Off, because then you had something to promote. I feel like
but I wasn't famous enough for that. Like SNL's like celebrities do SNL, not like. I got my big break doing like, I don't know. But anyway, wait, we're supposed to talk about high school this whole time. Oh my God, we're never.
You were homeschooled, right?
Not for high school.
You went to, so you were homeschooled, then you went to public school?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's scary.
It was really
Did you want to, or your parents?
I wanted.
Wait, Colleen or Trisha find a crack in the SNL story, because Colleen was like, oh, no. I wouldn't have gone on SNL to promote Haters Back Off because they only want celebrities. So why did they ask you to be on SNL in the past then? And Trisha asks her to go more in depth about it. And Colleen goes, okay, moving on.
I do. So
what?
My brother, so I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And my brother, who's just a year and a half older than me, is deaf. And, now he has cochlear implants, but like, hard of hearing when he was born.
Hi, Trent. Hide the fans. Close your DMs. Trent is coming.
Born, eventually he was deaf, and so my parents were trying to find a good schooling situation for him. It was really hard to find a good school system. Anyway, so they kept bopping us all around to different private schools, public schools, whatever. And then I was in 6th grade, and they said, we're going to take Trent out to homeschool and try that. So do you guys want to be homeschooled? They asked all of us. And you want to know my reasoning for wanting to be homeschooled? It's crazy.
Because you want to be on TV?
No.
Oh.
I did want to be on TV.
Like a star?
Do you have diaries, by the way, from your childhood? Journals?
I do. I don't know. I used to journal all the time. I have them at my mom's house. Yeah. I'm at my dad's house.
We have to enough to read through journals.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I'm a journaler.
Anyway,
I still journal every day.
That's so good for your brain.
I love it. Every morning I do it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I said yes because I got really bad homesickness when I was a little girl. Like if I spent the night at anyone's house, I would cry and beg to go home.
Oh.
I had really bad separation anxiety for some reason.
Oh.
And so in 6th grade, there's a huge class trip to Catalina Island or something.
Oh yeah, you grew up out here, right?
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God. And my mom couldn't go. My parents wanted to go, obviously. I was like, I'm gonna get homesick on an island and cry in front of all of my classmates and not be able to get home to my mom, and just everyone's gonna make fun of me for the rest of my life. It was at the end of the year. And this is the
Oops, I dozed off.
beginning of 6th grade. And I was like, yes, pull me out. I was like already planning ahead. That's how much anxiety I had about that trip, about the idea of getting homesick and wanting to go home when I was on an island. I was like, that was the only reason I wanted to be homeschooled. I was like, take me out of school right now.
Oh my
gosh. It was the best excuse to not have to like go on that trip. So then I was homeschooled. I know. And so then I was homeschooled for the rest of 6th grade and 7th and 8th. And then I went into
so you went to school for grade school?
Yeah. So I was public school and what? How is this legal? What are you talking about? Just working out for 6 hours? Like, what are we doing?
Okay. So
I did know this.
I convinced my mom to let me move out with my dad, and it went good. But then my dad was asking for child support, so my mom was like, "Hey, come back." Like, I don't know, it was this whole thing. So then I went back to my mom, and I didn't want to go back to that school because I moved to California, and I was like the cool person that made it out of Illinois, like really young, and I didn't want to go back to that school. So I'm like, "Mom, can we switch schools?" She's like, "Not yet." So I was homeschooled, but I didn't do any of my work for like a year and a half. So then she, "You have to go back to public school," and I was like, "Okay." So I went to one public school, and I don't know how I graduated. I never took math classes, never did anything. I don't know. I didn't know. Yeah, because I missed like a year and a half of high school, but I still graduated like on time. And my Illinois was weird. No shade to Illinois, but it was like, yeah, I didn't do like math. I didn't do science. I just like did a bunch of PE classes. I was in a lot of gym classes.
That's like the one thing I didn't do.
I don't know how. I didn't want to do it, but I ended up doing it.
Why are you taking so many PE classes? What are you talking about?
I was in 3 PE classes.
What? How is this legal? What are you talking about? Just working out for 6 hours? Like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Laps, and I don't know. I honestly, high school is literally a blur. I have to be really honest because it's like there's so many different recollections and there's like so many periods that I like blacked out. So I think I've had like more trauma than I even know. Sometimes I remember trauma like later in life, like at 30 years old. I'm like, whoa, I remember this memory.
Yeah, me
so
too.
There's like a year and a half, 2 years where I feel like I maybe blocked out something because there's some parts where I'm like, I don't know, I was like homeschooled for a year and I don't know, did I just sit at home? I'm not sure what I was doing.
So high school for you, there's like traumatic.
How does that apply to stories that Trisha has told about her schooling days? I will not go any further.
Events that like just you don't even want to think about.
Yeah, there's some that I remembered at like 30 because I was just thought like, oh, high school was fun, whatever. I don't know, like it wasn't fun. It definitely wasn't fun. But again, I wasn't bullied either. Like there is in my last high school, I went to 4 different high schools, and like the last high school I was like homecoming queen and like a cheerleader. Everyone's like, Trisha, you're like popular, and I was like, no, the reason.
I said that. Yeah,
right,
it's true.
Right, yeah, everyone's like, you're popular, and it's like, no, I just was like this new kid, and they didn't want to give it to anyone else. So I like got it.
So was it like you were having a hard time in your personal home life, or was it at school you're having a hard time? Or do you even remember?
Yeah, my parents both just worked all the time, so I was like always by myself. Like my brother was a few years older than me. My sister was way younger than me, and she had a different dad, so she was with him. So.
I can't believe the questions Trisha are asking Colleen are about like good things in her life, like her career going really well. And the questions Colleen asked Trisha is like, so when your parents split up and you were living alone and you were having blackouts because of your trauma at school, why?
I was just by myself a
lot. Your sister has a different dad?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
She's like 6 years younger, has a different dad. He lived
because you don't know anything about her.
in Illinois.
And your brother's the same?
Same dad, but he was a lot older and he graduated early. He was super smart. But he's very, he's like super private. My dad too, they're like super private people and stuff. And so, yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Like, you have a brother?
Yeah, I don't know that I knew that.
Yeah, and my sister, she used to do like YouTube, and now she kind of loves social media.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in general, like my family, like, you know, some people like social media, some people don't. Like my mom loves it, but she doesn't like do a lot anymore.
Yeah.
But I love social media. I love it till the day I die. Like, I love it. Anyways, that's the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. High school for me was a blur. That's why I liked Romy and Michelle, because I feel like they weren't like the nerds, but they also weren't popular.
They were just like people in high school. Yeah.
And I love the fact that they want to go back and try to impress their high school friends. Because like part of me would love to do that.
Did you go to your reunion?
When is she going to ask is Miranda sings for kids? Because I want to see Colleen's answer to that. That was in the teaser. Because we have like 10 minutes left.
Has it happened?
I graduated in 2006, so I probably missed my 10 years.
Yeah.
So the 20-year will be coming up 2026. And I honestly don't even remember anyone's name. Like, it's not as shade. I just don't remember anybody. So I don't even know who I'd go back to impress. Did you have like a crush on anyone? Like
in high school?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh,
yeah.
you did? I never had crushes really on people. No.
I remember the first time having a crush on someone. The feeling of it, like, so we were auditioning for a school play or something, and it was one of those horrible auditions where they make you audition in front of your peers. I think that is so cruel.
Yeah, those give me
should be
anxiety.
private. Don't make students audition in front of your peers.
No, I can
so
never do
mean.
It. My voice would quiver. I couldn't do it.
No, I was terrible. So, but I didn't get in. But anyway, this boy went on stage, and I just remember
they went through that. Let me tell you something. We have listened to an hour and 15 minutes of this. What was in the teaser was her saying, "Do you think Miranda Sings is for kids?" I wanted to see her answer. And also, yeah, when is she going to ask Trisha about, do you think your relationships were non-consensual? I guess in the next 10 minutes. I don't think 10 minutes is enough to unpack that question.
Or like feeling weird in my stomach, like feeling like I needed to like
How old
poop
were
or
you?
vomit. 13 when I was in high
that
school.
was the first time I had feelings.
Yeah, and I was like, what is that? Like, I didn't know what it was.
It was
What
in
is
your
this
stomach?
feeling? Yeah, my stomach felt weird. And, later, looking back, I'm like, oh, I got like butterflies. Like, I thought it was cute.
Right.
But at the time, I was like, ew, why do I feel sick? Like, I didn't understand it, I don't think, and I didn't want to admit it. But then, like, I definitely had a crush on him, and I said I didn't. Like, all my journals from high school were like, oh my God, he's so gross. He's so weird. But it was like so obvious I like was in love with him.
Even in private, you weren't admitting to it?
Even in private, I was like trying to tell myself I didn't like.
Trisha said, "I thought Miranda was for kids, so I never watch it." Okay, well, the teaser was obviously deceitful then, but All right.
I was like, oh, he's so
funny.
nice. But like, I was like, I definitely had a huge crush on him. I actually did a video with him a few years ago on my channel.
What's he
I was like,
doing? Is he?
He's an actor. So I think he lives in Atlanta now or something.
Like on a TV show or?
He's done parts and things. I don't know like if he's on something right now. I don't like.
Did you always like actors? Because your husband's an actor. Did you always like actors?
No, I mean, yeah, sure, but like, I don't think I've ever really. I don't know. I guess
you never
my
like
type is Eric, but like I've
marry someone famous or something.
No,
I always wanted
no,
to.
no.
I was like, I need to marry someone
I think it's just
famous.
because it's like in my field, you know, like I'm acting, so where am I going to meet people? Like I'm going to meet them in theater.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
it was never your thing to like set out for.
No, I guess, yeah, no, it wasn't. I wasn't like looking for that. I just like, I like passionate, creative people.
Because you can never be with like an accountant or something.
No, I mean, maybe if they were also passionate and creative about something else, but like, yeah, I don't know that I would have any conversations that would be interesting to me with someone like that. But like,
It doesn't matter if the conversations are interesting. I'm sure you'll lead them.
You know, I don't have a big track record. Like, I haven't dated many people.
Yeah, you've always
but, like,
in serious relationships.
Yeah, serious. Well, yeah, and like just or like a date that I didn't even realize was a date, which is something you've made fun of me for in the past a long time ago. Like,
yeah,
there's so many times where it was like I've been on a date with a guy and I didn't realize it was a date till I was there, and I was like, oh wait, this is a date.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he was famous too.
Yeah, he was famous.
Maybe
That was
I
weird.
feel like you're famous. Yeah.
No, it's not. No, but
that
anyway,
was a great story.
But I don't.
I think she's talking about. Wait, hold on.
In serious relationships.
Yeah, serious. Well, yeah, and like just or like a date that I didn't even realize was a date, which is something you've made fun of me for in the past a long time ago. Like, there's so many times where it was like I've been on a date with a guy and I didn't realize it was a date till I was there, and I was like,
I think she's talking about Flula here. Her and Flula went on dates. I know that much. I shouldn't have said that. But you also shouldn't have told me. Whenever I was a child. Flula, y'all will know Flula. Because I think she's talking about Flula. Flula. The YouTuber. Because I remember she messaged me making fun of him because apparently they went on like a bad date or something like that. I think she's talking about Flula here.
oh, wait,
She says, I have a good memory.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he was famous too.
Yeah, he was famous.
Maybe
That was
I feel
weird.
like you're famous. Yeah.
No, it's not. No, but
That
anyway,
was a great story.
But I don't think I never had a boyfriend in high school. I just had a crush on this guy, and I was like madly in love with him. And then my friend in high school at the time was like, I'm gonna go over there to his house and I'm gonna tell him that like I'm gonna make it happen between you two. Like I'm gonna like. And I was like, oh my god,
What
I was
does
so
that
nervous.
mean? Like kiss?
Well, what it means is she went over there and she like hooked up with him to like, and she was like, so then she called me and she's like, so I went over to see if he liked you, and he said he did, but then we just hooked up and like
This is like
broke
real life
my
mean
heart.
girls.
It was
This
so
is why
mean.
I was so scared of girls and I never had girlfriends. Because I like growing up, I was just taught like in movies and stuff that girls are mean and girls will do that. I'm like, I can never have girls around because they'll like take my guy or be interested in the same guy. Like my head was always in boys, so I was like, I can't have any girls around me. And it was like that for most of my life. And I feel so sad. I always tell people to nurture female friendships because they get you. But you learn that later on in life. I feel like young, there's like competition and stuff like that. But
yeah, I think also girls are just taught that like girls are mean, girls are nasty. Like
Here we go.
Hey guys, it's me, Miranda. So today I'm here with my friend Flulu.
Hello.
Is that how you pronounce
This
it?
is them.
Yeah?
Flula. We're gonna do a Would You Rather fun
But it wasn't back here. It wasn't then. It was like 2017 or something like that.
time right now. So, are you excited?
I'm very much ready for it.
I think this was who she was talking about.
hear those situations in movies, so I always thought, well, I don't want a girl around my man. She's gonna steal him. You know what I mean? And it's
well, she was a nasty girl, but not all girls are nasty. And like,
Right.
you know, there's anyway. That was not a good situation.
Enough
and
of
of course,
them.
me being me, like I haven't changed much because like when that happened, I wasn't like, oh my god, it's so mean. I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like no worries. You know, like that's fine. Like I hope it works out. You know, like I was like totally not mad or anything. Like I mean, I was sad, but like I didn't. Anyway, but I never had a boyfriend or anything like that. What
in high school. You didn't have a boyfriend.
No, I never had.
College, you said was your first.
Yeah,
boyfriend.
college was my first, and you said you didn't either.
Yeah, I seriously don't think I had a serious relationship until I was like 30 for real. I don't think I don't think I had a real relationship. Maybe even up until Moses. I was in one like relationship, but I don't know if that was even serious. I don't know. It's already like
I sense it coming.
but I was only in one serious relationship before Moses, and I was 30, I think, when I got into that. But before, no, I never.
Really?
I always thought I was in relationships. I've talked about them online. I did not need to go in further, but I always thought I was in serious relationships, and like the person has like a full-on girlfriend or wife or something. And I'm like, oh, I thought we were like in love.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was led on so.
Oh no.
Oh, because when I was 18, 19, 20, all through my 20s, I dated people like in their 50s, and I just thought like this is love and whatever.
no.
Not to say you can have age gap.
No,
but
yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
When they don't talk about age gap, but
no, yeah, we won't get into that. But like
yeah,
also
but,
like
but they can lead you on. That was always my
Wait, Colleen said we won't get into that. Which will be ironic if she brings up the question.
thing is like, you know, my experience with age gap relationships very young, like before 30, is like they kind of lead you on and you think that, you know, oh, we're gonna get married and have kids. That's what everyone told. Literally every guy I was with was like, we're gonna get married one day, which is like such a weird thing to like say, but I believed it. So yeah, I didn't have
so you didn't have any of that in high school. It wasn't until after high school.
No, I didn't have any in high school. I didn't go to college. I came straight to LA.
When was your first kiss?
my actual like first real like consensual kiss probably was like 24 maybe.
No, I think you have to say consensual.
I know. All my stuff, I'm always like, wait, what my first consensual time was.
Yes, don't let those people take that from you.
Yeah. So I would say maybe like I guess like 18, I guess. But again, that was under circumstances where you're just like coerced into it or whatever. But I was scared to kiss. I was scared of everything. I thought you got like diseases kissing. I was scared. I was scared of a lot of things and stuff like that. So I was doing a lot of stuff early on, but you know, in my head, I either like blacked it out or didn't like associate. I guess it's like disassociating. So it's like a different thing. So sometimes when I think of stories, I'm like, now I really have to really think about it. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that happened or it didn't happen, which is like a whole thing.
Yeah, if you look back on stuff and go like, oh, that was, I thought that was consensual and maybe it wasn't.
All the time. Oh my God, when I look back at relationships, I'm like, oh my God, that was actually so, and it's such a scary thing to talk about.
Oh, it's such a heavy question.
You're just kind of like, okay, well, in the time I just went along with it, so it was okay, but then you're like, oh, like it wasn't okay, but then it's like, it's such a trick. I'm like the worst person to talk about this with, because you're like, at the time I was okay with it, but then it's like, you look back at, oh, maybe that wasn't right, maybe that wasn't a good thing, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you were groomed to believe that it was okay.
Well, yeah, when you're so young, that was my only issue. Is like, you know, when you're so young, like starting from like 14, I was like talking to people in their 50s and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know, when you're so young, you really do get, and especially because I was always about famous people. I was like, if you're famous, you're on TV. Well, if you're on TV, and they weren't super famous, but if they were on TV, I thought that was everything, you know? But that traumatized me. But
wow.
yeah.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was a lot.
What an awful way to handle that. We're not going to get into this, she says. We'll not get into it. Then tries to get into it. Trisha opens up and she goes, oh, well, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Well. Okay. We only have a couple minutes left. I'm smiling.
Oh my God, we got so like dark. All of a sudden, I'm like disassociating back. And I was like, wait, where are we?
I'm just waiting. Well, how many episodes in is it going to be where we start crying?
I know. Well, I think we ever made.
What a weird thing to say after Trisha just said something like that. When are we going to start crying?
Makeup on. Sometimes people always tell me when I get glammed, like, you're a different person when you're glammed. When I have no makeup on, I'll like just start losing my shit. I'll just start crying randomly.
I cry every day. I'm always crying. I cried yesterday. I sobbed yesterday.
I do too. I cry every day, but sometimes it comes out of nowhere for real.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'll be totally fine and just start crying, and I'll tell myself like, I'm so happy. I don't know why I'm crying. Like my life is like perfect. It's everything I wanted. Like I don't know why I'm crying. So it's very. I did the same thing.
Well, I think it's only a matter of time. Who's gonna cry first? I think it'll be.
It's like, to be like, who's going to cry first? It's only a matter of time after Trisha said something like that.
Me, honestly, probably.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. I cry a lot.
Yeah.
I literally have merch that says I cry a lot.
I love that. I love all your merch. I was looking at it as like the theater kid merch. Like, oh, that sounds like so good. I have some of your merch. I remember I was like gonna wear, but I always get scared to like wear other people's merch in case they don't want me like promoting it. You know what I mean? Because it's like back then we weren't as close as we are now. But well, I'll wear it all day long. I'll dress as you.
Wait, okay. I want to know more about your high school, but I also don't want to like trigger into like bad conversation.
No, you know what's so funny is like I didn't know what dissociating was, and it's like for like I feel myself like get back into it for a minute, like glosses over. You like I like look and I'm like, oh my God, this is like weird. Is this like it's almost like deja vu talking about this, but it's also like, is this real? Like it's such a weird thing. Do you ever get like, is this real life? I get like that sometimes.
Oh, all the time.
Oh my God, it's so weird because all of a sudden it like brought me to a different place. I'm like, wait, where are we? What are we doing?
All the time.
It scares me.
All the time. Yeah, that's really scary.
It hasn't happened in like a while.
I literally cannot believe how long this episode has been.
I knew that Colleen was trying to end it because the way that she was responding to conversations was like her voice went up at the end. So she'd be like, oh my God, that's crazy. Or wait, hello, what was that? That's crazy. Or yeah. You know, like very blunt. I don't know if I'm so tired. It's 6 a.m. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying here. You know, like it's closing off. She's ready to leave, but we'll see how they leave.
Because I thought it had been like 15 minutes, and Trish was like, "No, we're like done."
We need to eat.
We need to eat because we're both like
sorry,
because we realized that like we're like both like kind of zoning a little bit.
It was weird, but that never happens. It was the most bizarre thing. It hasn't happened in so long.
Well, we're gonna eat.
I love it. To me,
I'm so confused about Colleen being like, I want to talk more about your childhood or whatever. If you don't, you know, if you want to open up about it, and then goes, oh, we've been going for so long.
It just feels like, what is real life? I don't know, like it's bizarre.
Spotlight
like,
isn't on her.
I'm not just saying this because you're here, whatever. But I tell Mose all the time too. It's like you to me are like this. It's like celebrity, and I'm obsessed with celebrity, right? So like to me, you've done all this stuff, and it's a big thing. So for a minute, I literally got into like, wait, is this real life? Who am I talking to? Like, what am I doing? Like, it's a weird thing. Yeah.
I think that all the time when I'm about to go on stage for my shows, I'll be in the wings and I'll be like, oh my God, am I actually gonna go on stage in front of these people? Why are these people here? Why did they come here to see me?
Surreal. You sent me that clip of you in the crowd, and I went to a Marina show, and it was a lot of people, but this last one you went to, I don't know if it's Ohio where you went, it was crazy. Like, you had tears filled with people, and I was like...
Yeah, every time I go out on stage, I think no one's going to be there. Like, you can ask my team every time I show up at a city, I'm like, did we sell any tickets? Like, and I'm seriously asking. I'm like, did anyone buy tickets? And they're like, yeah, you sold this many. Like, they'll tell me how many. I'm like, oh, wow, I can't believe that many people are going to come. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah, because also when you don't sell, if you don't sell it out, like only when I went on tour the first time I sold out every show, and the second time I went on tour, like it was like quarter capacity, and the energy is like so different too, because they book these huge venues. I'm like, why don't you just book small venues so it feels like a lot of people?
Yeah, I know, I've done that before. Like I'll walk into a venue, it's like 3,000 seats. I'm like, oh come on, why'd you book me this time? I'm like in the front, and there's like 6 people in the balcony, and you're like, oh, they probably think I'm such a loser. There's like only 6 of them up there.
Show with the last one was crazy, and I just
I went to wherever I just went. I went to Ohio, and I was in oh my gosh, Pittsburgh, and I was in Cincinnati. Oh, I don't even remember, but anyway, when I got to Cincinnati, it was Cleveland and Pittsburgh. But anyway, when I was in Cincinnati, I got there and I was like, how many tickets did we sell? And I was like so scared. And he was like, I think we're at like 1150 or something.
Wow.
And I was like, where, here? And he was like, yeah. I was like, in Cincinnati?
It's crazy,
and he was like,
yeah.
I was like, who did that? How do you mean that? No, they didn't. What do you mean, like 111 people?
Oh my God,
like,
wait,
I did
why?
not
You
believe
didn't
him.
think because it was in the middle of Midwest, or what was it?
I just am always impressed that anyone would buy a ticket, but like.
So she showed up for a tour, showed up at the venue, and was surprised that she sold tickets. Okay. All right. Or was that just a way of you saying that, oh, I sold tickets on my tour. You didn't, Trish.
And doing it for so
over
long.
1,000 people like wanted to buy tickets to see me. Like always blows my mind
and
every time it happens.
Constantly touring, and that's like so hard. Like you go to the same city, so how are people like still buying tickets? It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's like,
it makes no sense.
In a good way. No, in like the best way. It's amazing. You've toured what now? Like 12 years?
Something like that. I don't know. It's
You've been
been a long
touring
time.
for so long. It's actually crazy, and you're still going. And I'm just like,
well,
I love performing, but I can never do that. That's so much.
It's a lot, but it's so fun. But I was disassociated. I feel like I'm always like, who's doing this? Why are these people here? Are they here to see me? This is so bizarre.
Have you filmed it? Have you
the show?
Yeah.
The new one? No, not the new one.
You never like filmed in like, so I know you did your comedy special, but you never filmed your like one woman show or anything like that.
Well, it's just a comedy special. I mean, and that even had to be adjusted quite a lot because most of the stuff I do in the show is like covers of songs. So like I couldn't do any of it. So like we had to cut most of the material I do. But it's this new show I really love. I think this new show is really fun.
Are you gonna do a pro shot?
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe if someone wants to do it.
Because it's so fascinating. And again, it's kind of niche because it's like something you don't. Yeah.
You have to come see it.
See, like, for sure.
Colleen's at her threshold. She wants to go home. Trisha's like, me too. Trisha's can't even talk. I'm that tired. Trisha goes, are you gonna get it like professionally recorded? And Colleen goes, probably not.
You were just here not that long ago, like literally 2 minutes from my house. And I'm like, why did I not know that?
But Trisha's saying we need to wrap it up. But like literally, I even had a whole structure, I had a whole plan, and none of it happened because all we do is, I can't believe we just talked for 90 minutes and I don't remember anything we talked about. I literally go, did we even
talked?
Almost done, gang. Stay strong, muckers.
Hi, Quiskers. Wait, this would be a good moment for the thumbnail. I love creating thumbnails.
About anything? Like, how is this an episode? Like,
I know. Where's the
there's no way that we had an actual conversation. Like, was there anything interesting?
I don't think you did have a conversation.
I don't even
you
know what we
went
talked about.
3 comments and we just went from there. So thank you for the comments. You
I had like 10 on my phone. I was like, all this
more.
to talk about.
I like the comments. I like reading them.
I'll say their name before we go. Okay,
Yes.
hold on. Someone said to talk about fast food.
We're gonna get fast food right
And that's
now.
what we're about to do because we're hungry. It was
oh my gosh.
David A. Flores, I think. I don't know, fast food. They wanted us to talk about. So we're gonna order McDonald's.
McDonald's. I think
Is
we're
that
getting
your
close. It's just really close. Probably though. I don't know if there's something I like better. How about you?
You don't know what?
In-N-Out.
I love In-N-Out, but you don't have a favorite of a fast food place?
I guess I would just say McDonald's I eat the most. But I don't know, do you?
think McDonald's I eat the most for sure.
I do too. And
In-N-Out, I love it. It is my favorite, but it's also like McDonald's In-N-Out's just like in a few places, not everywhere. You know, like of like all the fast food places are everywhere. McDonald's probably my go-to.
Yeah, I love McDonald's. I feel like I'm getting close to that sponsorship. That's my manifesting. I feel like
They sponsor my podcast. Relax. Oh
no, McDonald's?
Yes, girl. I feel like such a celebrity.
Oh my god.
That's what makes me feel like a celebrity.
Okay, that's the.
She had to get one last one in. Trisha, you're nothing.
Ultimate. McDonald's is, they're the only people who haven't sent me PR. Like Wendy's sent me PR, Jamba Juice sent me PR. I'm like, McDonald's. I take free things. Give me a free gift card.
Well, they literally, I was so excited, but I lost my voice the week that they sponsored us, so I couldn't even talk.
Oh my god.
But I literally ordered McDonald's in solidarity.
No, we've been McDonald's girlies for a minute.
We both are McDonald's girlies with no condiments.
That's right.
I don't dip my nuts in nothing.
Yeah,
Wrap
and
it up,
Jenna Ortega
ladies.
doesn't either. She talked about that on Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. She's like,
Ladies,
I don't do
wrap it
sauces.
up.
She's so quirky.
That's like relatable.
Okay, wait. I'm like too tired to even make that point. But she goes, I said this is my last one. This has been my last point. So come on, let's get the energy back at him. She goes, oh my god, like I don't like condiments on my thing. And then Trisha goes, Jenna Ortega doesn't like condiments either. And she goes, oh well, she's so quirky. Girl, you were the one that said it first. Just say you like putting down other women. Who said that? Me.
Or Jimmy Kimmel. She's like, I don't do sauces.
She's so quirky.
That's like relatable. I love her. Anyways, all right, we're gonna go order McDonald's. This is.
Wow. That was exhausting.
Colleen knows damn well she's not talking to Trish like that with her tumbleweave tumbling the house.
Down boots, mama, I'm deceased. Oh my god. You guys, that lasted so long.